Bon, on va se régaler encore ce matin sur la place du Mont-Blanc, il est 10h moins 5.
Hello and welcome to glorious Chamonix. As you can see, the mountains in the backdrop, the wall down on the bottom left, and the crowd are starting to stream into the Place du Mont Blanc. It's 56% humidity, but 17 degrees. The clouds drifted over the sun today, creating good conditions for our athletes to climb in. My name is Matt Groom, and I'm just over the moon to be joined by Caroline Ciavaldini. Caroline, just tell us a little bit about yourself, because you are, and I know you're going to say you're not, but you are an absolute legend on the climbing scene.
Hello, Matt. Well, okay, I'm not.
There we go.
That's the thing about legends, they're old. So, yeah, I come from climbing. I'm French, obviously, you can hear my accent. I did World Cups for 10 years, until 25, and then I moved on to adventure climbing. And then I moved on to trying to put all that together with being a parent. And now I'm starting to work for a brand, for La Sportiva, so...
Fantastic, congratulations with that. And when was the last time that you climbed in Chamonix?
So, I could be wrong because my memory is really, really bad about World Cups, but I'm pretty sure actually. It's the 2011 and it's the only World Cup I ever won.
Wow, so this is a sort of the circle of life right now. You're coming to commentate on the ones going on. Well, the athletes on the screen right now are the ones who have qualified for today's semi-final. Natsuki Tani just squeaking in just about. She's our 24th athlete, so she will be first out. The ones who qualified last climb first. And as we go down this list, some big names for the women, including a certain Brooke Raboutou, has returned to the IFSC circuit and immediately inside of the top 5. Chaehyun So, Rosa Recker doing well, Laura Rogera and Annie Sanders make up the top. Erin McNice, interestingly, a little bit lower down for her, but I'm sure we'll see her bounce back during this competition. Looking at this list of names, Caroline, it must be so strange because it's like literally a different generation of climbers here coming through.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I would have loved to see more French, because the French team's normally really strong.
Yep. There's a couple in the men's. Max Bertone, I know you've seen him climb. He's so much fun.
I mean, he's very close to my heart because he comes from the same island as me.
Okay. Reunion Island.
Yeah, exactly. And the girls, who's the other guy? Three girls as well.
Yeah. Well, we're just looking at the men here, and again, in the top 5, we've got Toby, Serrata, Satoni, and Alberto, and then Do-Hyun Lee. I mean, that is just such a stacked
we're
climbers.
Basically only missing Alamondra.
Yes, exactly. Adam, I don't know why he's not a lead. I thought he might be at a couple of lead competitions.
I think he just wanted to climb outside a lot. Fair enough.
All right, well, that's the starting list here. You can see the wonderful Chamonix Valley. We're right in the centre of town here. The Brevant Mountains, the Aigle Rouge on the left-hand side, the big mountains up on the right, which tower above our wall. And just a reminder to everyone that the World Climbing Club is a free-to-watch show on YouTube. We have behind-the-scenes interviews, all of the results from the past couple of days and more, so make sure you subscribe. Caroline, this crowd, amazing during speed last night, super hyped. But what's it like as an athlete when you were out there on the wall?
It's crazy powerful. I remember, a movement back in time in the final. your arm is opening and then the crowd is cheering so much, it's like basically pushing you up. Wow. So this is how powerful is the crowd.
So you genuinely sort of feel that energy when you're up on the wall?
100%. There is no... You can't deny that. But it can really make you fall as well.
You've literally given me goosebumps right now as you're talking about that. I don't. An example of that is back in Curitiba in Brazil, where Mejdi Schauk wasn't doing great, and then the crowd got behind him, and he just immediately sent the boulder problem. So I guess you can.
I mean, you never really know how it would have been without the crowd, but. Some athletes are just so much better when they're performing in front of a crowd than actually ride training. Some athletes are way worse, obviously, as well.
Yeah, because nerves can be a thing, can't they, as well? If everyone is screaming for you, it can get quite intense.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're French, you hear the presenter, he speaks French, sometimes there's loads of things that are not right. So it is disturbing. There's no...
I do know what you mean with that one. Well, we're looking up at Brevon. I went up there with Julian David the other day, the New Zealand speed climber, and this is our shot inside. Now, Stefano Ghisolfi is an athlete that you know very well. It's great to see him back, isn't it?
I mean, he's a legend. He knows, he does everything. He just came out of his 4-9B project. He did 3 of them in 2 months, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Massively strong. Doesn't train at all for indoor. Still obviously cruising it. Yeah.
Yeah, and congratulations to Stefano getting married very recently as well.
Yeah, he's got his ring on his...
on his neck, has he?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, camera team, let's see if we can spot that. And on the left-hand side, new school, Natsuki Tani is out and about on the left. Now, these routes, obviously we've got 24 athletes coming through, so we'll have lots of time to work them out. But generally, what was your impressions of let's start with the men's, for example.
Yeah, I just hope it won't be... No, I mean, I hope it won't be too hard. Obviously, the route setters know exactly what they're doing, but there's all these new holds that none of the athletes know. The cheetah holds, like the transparent one, you'll see one really soon. Mm-hmm. And there is absolutely no way for the athletes, unless they went to look at the stand yesterday, which would be wise, but have they done it? There's no way to know what the hold is like.
So you're talking about the hold on screen here up on right of Steph?
Exactly, this transparent hold with a yellow thing inside. And it can be, see, he's literally discovering it right now. So obviously this is proving to be all right, but in 2 transparent things, there is a bit of a surprise, the setters told us. So the next one will be yellow, and then there's a blue one. It's a mono, so 1 finger inside it, and you can't see it right now, but it's super steep.
Yeah, the wall really kicks back here, so Stefano will have to work hard. And on the left, Natsuki Tani, the women's route starts hard very early on. About clip 2, things ramp up in difficulty. So it's going to be interesting to see how many women can keep the fight going, the endurance going through that.
Yeah, this is the one thing that was super interesting this morning. We were watching the non-qualified athletes read the routes. They always do that. And actually all the guys made the mistake. They were reading the pink. They were 100% sure it was the guy's route, and it wasn't. So obviously this route looks really scary. But she's obvious. They're both doing quite well, actually.
They are, aren't they? It's the first athlete's out. You never quite know with the first athlete's out.
But these are really strong.
Yeah, exactly that. And so often we have an athlete come through who does really well in the first couple of climbs. There's no pressure, the holds are clean.
Am I wrong? Max Bertone recently qualified last and still did podium?
Philip Schenk certainly did that. Whether it was Max as well, I honestly can't remember. But yes, it was... we do see it happen sometimes, and it kind of shocks us all, because we're like, what is going on? It's early in the morning. Now, Natsuki Tani, interestingly, has big heels in here. The setters told us if the athletes try to find comfortable positions too much, they're going to get tired here. It's just a case of moving quickly. Yeah, they already said on the qualifications it was possible to slow down. I mean, obviously that's super relative. Now there is no respite. Is that the English word? Yeah, that's the English word.
Oh, God. I'm having an English lesson at the same time.
I don't think I'm the person to teach you this. It could be worrying.
You're British, I'm French.
True. Right, Stefano is approaching the head wall where things get a little bit less steep, but the climbing tends to get harder and more technical here. Well, what a first...
That's a big move. Oh, well done. Yeah, again, the route setter told us that movement was super difficult. Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks like he's going really high, but again, Stefano Ghisolfi, he's won World Cups. He's a legendary athlete, so it doesn't mean that the route is too easy at all. It could just be that he's doing absolutely amazingly. Very good point, and he is doing very well, though. He is approaching the top of the wall here. Natsuki Tani as well is coming towards the head wall. Stefano on crimps as well. He'll be in his kind of happy place here. Yeah. Go again right now. Oh.
Well, he falls at the top of the head wall. But what a first climb.
I can imagine. It's so stressful to be a route setter, so they're hoping to have set the level exactly right, but you never really know.
Yeah, exactly. Until you watch the athletes. Right, now Tsuki Tani, what a wonderful shot this is on our climbing wall. Now, I think these 360 holds she's got her left hand on are super mean. There's no texture apart from the crimp.
It looks enormous. Actually, if you're in the crowd from a bit far away, you're like, oh yeah, there's a big hold. I mean, look, she's got 4 pads on pretty much nothing.
Yeah, but she's moved through it, and she's doing really well here.
And her foot is on something that is basically like glass. So, oh, see getting really pumped right now.
Oh, clawing with the fingers onto that ping. Oh, she pings eventually. I think that left hand ripped. But sometimes with sort of big fires off like that, you can just be tired.
You could see, like, it's been quite a few movements. Her elbows were going up and up and up.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly that, when it goes up towards the ear. I know what you mean. All right, well, the first 2 are done here in Chamonix. Stefano Ghisolfi getting high, and Natsuki Tani doing well as well. Right, 2 more coming out. Chaehyun Kim on the left, Jonas Utelli on the right. Swiss climber, fairly local to Chamonix.
Okay, you didn't want me to ask these questions, but he's quite young, no, Jonas?
Yeah, I'll pull up his exact age, actually, right now. He is young. He's kind of one of those Swiss athletes who's come through in recent years. Yeah, he did very well during the OQS series. And that exact age I will find for you.
So from the beginning, I think the route setters told us there is a bit of a... it's really uncomfortable, this section right now. It's supposed to do a bit of a knee bar to make it a bit... No, it's the next movement, sorry. And in the beginning, they didn't put... See, this hold is holding. In the beginning, there wasn't a hold at all.
Yeah, they added the
They added it. I think they were just afraid that they were going to make some athletes fall on the third quick draw, which would be not super nice. It happened.
21, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's had a good season. Multiple semi-finals along the way. In fact, every comp he's entered this year, he's made semis. And then Chaehyun Kim underway into the pinks. She took quite a while to remind herself of the route.
Amazing athlete. She's the new generation of Koreans. Super strong country, despite being a small country. But
I guess you climbed quite a lot with Chaehyun Kim.
Oh my God, I spent my whole career behind her, basically.
It's funny how some athletes can come on and you're like, if they didn't exist, I would be so much better. You know?
Oh my God, I've got really long stories about her, actually. No, it's she was the very first super strong Korean athlete, and actually she's the little sister of a Korean guy who came to the French team, but like hiding, and nobody really understood what he was doing there because he didn't really have a high enough level. Turns out he was there to understand how training functioned, and then a few years later, his sister comes out and she beats everybody. So I think the French team was gutted that we had allowed him to be there.
You gave him the in. That's funny. Yeah, on the left, Kim is just 17, so as you said, new generation coming through here, and she's had a good career as well. She got gold back in Dallas in the Youth World Champs.
I think she's trained a lot with my goddess, my terror at the same time. So yeah, when you learn from the best, it's really easier if you have a role model in front of you to know exactly where is the level that you need to reach.
Absolutely. Well, Jonas is cruising at the moment on the right-hand side. He is up to the head wall already.
Yeah, he doesn't even seem... Oh, no, I guess he's a bit pumped here. Yeah, these big movements.
Yeah, I think he was going for a big bump and he just locked off the right arm instead. And look how bad these crimps are now. They're not really crimps, they're just slopey things.
But he's choking on the holds anyway, so...
Outrageous, isn't it? Right, up he goes into near where Stefano fell now. So he's approaching the new high point.
Little crimp, I think, yeah.
Kim with a very high foot on the left-hand side as well, locks off. She's got to move quick through the section. Jonas goes up towards the right.
It's like 2 more holds basically until the...
He falls. So, interesting. We will give you an update to the scores as we go through at this point. It's always quite hard to tell.
And she's got this, I don't know, I would say super relaxed style that is exactly Kim's style, to be honest. Kim Jane's style. So yeah, you can really see there's a bit of a Inheritance?
Yeah. Are you getting sort of PTSD watching her climb here? Are you remembering the old days? Thinking, oh no, it's another.
No, I don't think it's a trauma. It's at some point when somebody's just way better, you accept it.
Oh, come on. I refuse to believe that. You're my hero. And you've won gold medals, for goodness sake.
I've won one gold medal. I think in France there's a really legendary Tour de France biker, Polidor. He would never won. He was always second. I think I've got something like 7 or 10 second medals. Only one gold.
No, Kim.
Actually, the one gold, it was the 1 year when there was you wouldn't difference people on speed.
Yeah.
And so we were 4 on the first.
Yes. And we'll talk about that when Erin comes on, because we saw something very interesting in China.
Yes.
But right now, Kim is on these dishes here. I thought she was about to fall on that left-hand move. She's managed to keep it together.
But after all, she's choking. She looks quite composed.
Yeah, she's got plenty of time as well. Toe hook in, checks that time. And this is a good moment for her. This is a very well-balanced climb from her so far.
Yeah. From the outside, it actually doesn't look easy when you look at her face, but it's about staying composed. As soon as you start overstressing, overgripping, you basically don't have much time left. So, yeah, it doesn't look hard, but I promise it's crazy hard.
It is in 1:50 on the clock. She does have enough time. Headwall to come. I think it was a smart moment to rest from her.
Yeah, super terrible foot, as I said already. You need perfect body tension, otherwise you're off.
This is the glass hold, you said.
And this is, the move where...
she falls. Kim
same
goes.
Move then.
Yeah,
Okay.
Same moves as Natsuki Tani then. So already, sort of 4 athletes done. 2 very obvious sections of difficulty for both the men and women. They're falling in the same place.
Yeah. For the guys, it's definitely climbing super high. And the people in isolation, I would imagine they kind of know that. All of the athletes are behind the wall, so they don't know what is going on, but they can hear the crowd anyway.
Yeah.
And it's not going crazy fast, which means the athletes are going high.
Yeah, so they'll be aware of that. Guillermo underway, 5:24 on the clock for him. We are rotating the athletes as they climb. Up into the first of the dishes, and then this is the mono coming up. I do love these holds.
No, I think I would hate it if I were an athlete, because I have no idea.
I presume you can change out the dishes as well.
Yes, exactly. I mean, which is great for the route setters, because you can create surprise, but obviously horrible for the athletes. Yeah. Because normally if they're lucky, they manage to train on the hold.
Sorry, Guillermo's got a mono sort of Cobra Crack style jam there.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that, but he seems to find that a bit hard.
Yeah, he went thumb down, thumb up, and then he slipped for the finger up.
I would say this is definitely the British fault that we have cracks now. It's your fault, okay, Matt? This is going to be on you.
I will take full responsibility for cracks.
No, I think it's on let's put it on the white boys.
Yes,
yeah?
I've actually just put an Instagram post up because I tend to tag them every time there's a crack.
So then you tag them every time you World Cups now.
So much, yeah. And then they send me terminology, which is brilliant.
Okay, so what's Tom going to say about that?
I think it's all about thumbs down, thumbs up. But it's
is
more of like a finger jam, rather than a sort of a... I know you know more about jam.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, well, no, I mean, I know. Yeah, finger
it's
jam,
it's more of a lock than a jam. I think that's where I'm going.
Yeah, okay. Because it's an easy one. You don't need to, use your hand muscles too much. It's just locks.
Yeah.
A few years ago, the comp athletes had no idea how to do that.
Oh, yes.
Because it was not necessary on plastic. Because everybody used to think it was just painful and a horrible hold. Mm-hmm. And then the white boys decided they're going to make it fashion. And they managed.
And now it's a thing. Yeah. Oh, Guillermo slips going towards that nasty blue slopey pinch with the left hand.
See, I think it's actually, you asked to the route setter, that holds, it looks like it's going to be good, but it's actually quite deceptive.
Yes. Deceptive, yeah. It's why I asked, because it looks like it's a big pinch, but it's not at all, I don't think. Izia on the left-hand side, another super young climber coming through, and she's underway about halfway through.
She doesn't look as composed as the first two, but she also seems to have a very different climbing style. It doesn't mean she's not going to do as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a resistance route, and you're right. She's a bit more snatchy at the holds, a bit more rushed.
But I guess we'll see. Yeah. But the route setters, they said this section was super difficult, you could never stop. We didn't really see that so much on the first two climbers.
Yeah, exactly. She's coming off the back of a win at the European Cup. So she'll be feeling confident here. Don't worry, that drone is nowhere near the wall. I know it looks like it is, but it's far away.
Oh yeah, no, she can't hear it.
So crossing through, this is a really tricky move as she looks out left towards the slopey dish, gets it.
Okay, she didn't look as comfortable, and she wasn't as comfortable. I'm not completely crazy.
No, she did look like she was battling more than the others so far.
Yeah, on paper, I mean, I have no idea how much I'm supposed to explain, Matt. You'll
explain
tell me
away.
if it's too. But the order of the climbers is from like the last one to the first one. So, oh God, okay, one of my favorites.
Yeah, Max Bertone is on stage. This man is just such a joy to watch climbing. It always just looks like Max is having fun, like the whole time.
But at the same time, he's a baby, so you'd hope.
This is true. But he has made like almost every semi-final. He's made finals. He was fourth. You know, we're just waiting for him to get higher medals, I think.
So I think, it's his second World Cup season?
Yes,
I
exactly.
think?
Yeah, second World Cup
Because
season.
before he was too young to participate anyway.
Yeah.
He's done amazing in the youth categories, and he's clearly proven already that he's somebody who's going to be important. Max is also the little brother of superstar Erin McNice. I'm sorry, we have to mention Erin.
I had Oriane in the commentary box in Innsbruck when he was climbing, and it was the most fun. It was so good. And Eloise Doumont coming on the left-hand side. She was fantastic in Innsbruck, made her first ever finals. So let's see if she can do the double here in Chamonix.
Belgium, very small country with a lot of really good climbers.
You're right. We've got Hannes van Dyssen who will come out later on. We have
Maybe it's also they have a terrible weather, so they have really good athletes, just like the UK, to be honest.
Because they've got to go indoors, yeah. That's a good point. Right, Max easily through the crack. He was cruising through that one. Now Wodge is 2 feet in.
Yeah, jamming the foot, you can see that.
It's nice they're mixing the crack. We have seen quite a lot of crack climbing this year, but it's good to see one like this.
I mean, it's not a hard one.
No. But it is enough to unsettle some athletes.
Exactly. But if you're clever nowadays as an athlete, you really have to train the cracks. Otherwise, yeah, if you're a comp athlete, you have to really train on your weak points. Obviously, it's much more comfortable to ignore them, but it's not a good idea.
Yes, I tend to ignore mine all the time. It's much more fun, I find, to train.
Yeah, but you have the choice to go to only your strong points. They do not have the choice.
Right, Eloise into the pink section with those crimps on top. Great shot there from our drone just to show the height. The men's climbs much faster than the women's, which is interesting.
I mean, yeah, Max has a fast style as well. And to be honest, I thought he wasn't as fast as he usually is.
Yeah, he's shaking there as he crosses through into the blocked crimp. Turns it into a side pull.
That's an interesting. You have to think in the first comps he was, he didn't have to prove absolutely anything.
Oh, wow, well, he dropped up, nearly saved it on a nothing hold on the way down, but not quite for Max. And I have a feeling that might leave him outside of a finals place.
Yeah, most likely. He's quite disappointed, I think.
Right, Eloise with the war paint on her face from that chalk. That's her personal style that I absolutely love, but she's got 4 minutes 15 on the clock.
She was struggling earlier, but she managed to save it. But yeah, she doesn't... I hope she's going to manage to go quickly on that section, because there's no alternative to be efficient.
Block crimp to come. It's a big old shouldery throw over with the right hand.
Oh, I'm going to tell you a story, okay?
Okay, go for it. Well, hang on a sec, because she heel hooked her own fingers there.
Oh, it's about her fingernail being painted. Some athletes actually paint them black to make them stronger, because if the nail is a bit more solid, it helps you crimp a bit better.
Okay, but now I've heard that if you paint it on it's thick, that can work. But why black?
Oh, okay.
Is it a colour thing, or is it just a general painting?
No. I guess it's just I associate that with it was Sachi Alma.
Ah, okay.
He's the first athlete I saw do that, and normally it's not very usual to. I mean, such a cliche, but you see less guys with black paints.
Yes.
So first I was like, oh, that's a weird style.
I thought you were about to tell me something amazing about the colour black. I thought it was like a particularly strong colour. No, I get you. So now there is a little bit of discussion going on. I don't think it's a problem here. And the athletes are aware, by the way, that we have cameras down there, and it's my favourite thing. I love that moment before they climb, just to see what they're doing.
And you see very different routines, actually. But usually everybody has a routine. It's kind of, you have to put yourself in the right mindset. Because behind, you're waiting, you're doing nothing, you don't see anything, but you hear everything. It's so crazy. You know, actually, I remember it is stressing me. You have to put things in place so that you don't disappear behind the fear.
Okay.
Because it's so scary.
So what did you put in place?
Oh, me, back in the time. I was kind of a bit of an animal. It was quite scary. I had like big movements, a very loud music that was always the same. And basically a routine that would generate an emotion.
Okay. So you had the sort of Linkin Park playing in the headphones, like aggressive music.
It would change, but yeah, something like that, literally. Because right now she's starting, and I think the best solution, I mean, I really think so, is you have to focus closer and closer just onto the holes and the movements, because it's the only thing that matters. But your brain has this tendency to think, you know, it's all this big crowd, what if I mess up my route, I'm going to look ridiculous, I've worked so hard for it. And see, can you imagine like this black demon on your shoulder just talking to you?
No, I mean, I can't. And I think that's what separates, you know, the high level athletes from those who struggle, is the ability to deal with that kind of a pressure.
Yeah, it's one thing to be super crazy strong at training, to do 6 million one-arm pull-ups.
How many do you do?
0.
Now, this lady here kind of coming on, she's just 17, one of those breaking into the Japanese team, and I'm pretty sure this is her first World Cup as well, which is pretty amazing, and already this is her first World Cup and straight into semi-finals.
Wow, well, but I mean, at the same time, she's Japanese, you know, her density of circuit at home is mental. It's very far from her first competition. This is why these athletes, they can perform like that, because they're so used to it. Imagine the best climber, but who had never done a competition, he would literally liquefy.
Liquefy, that's a brilliant word. Yes, and I've been told that apparently the Japanese nationals is harder than World Cups.
Yeah,
so,
well,
you know, if you can deal with that, you can deal with this.
I've been a lot to Japan, actually. Okay, this is like 6 generations ago, but God on Earth for me is Yoji Hirayama. For you too, right?
Big fan, yeah. I've climbed with that man quite a lot over the years.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is the thing you want to do. You want to spend some time with a legend.
Yeah.
And so I've done a lot of expeditions with Yoji. So I've been a lot to Japan, and you go to any gym, you feel so terribly bad.
Yes.
Because they're
the black
so
takes rather notorious. Those. Just quickly, Philip Schenk underway on the right-hand side here, and Connor doing very well as she works her way through. I wanted to shout out Yoji, actually. There's a film that you guys should go and watch in Vietnam. He climbed Vietnam's hardest sport route, and I was there when he was sort of establishing it. It's a brilliant film by Clarisse Bombard, so you should go and watch that if you're listening at home. Right, she brings the feet very, very high up here, and matching that block crimp as well. Nasty stuff.
But she's, climbing quite well. A little bit hesitant on that movement.
And Philip Schenk is the one I said earlier who came on first in a semi-final and made finals.
Just looking, 2 or 3 Italians qualified for the semis.
Yeah, Team Italy with a strong squad here.
Yeah.
Going back and forth, trying to get toe hooks in, which I'm not sure how smart this is on this move here. She's trying to find a more stable position to do it rather than just committing to the match and then the big bump.
I was just wondering, Matt, do you know the cat taping? So this is you see more and more athletes climbing with this. She's got pink tape on her forearms.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily an injury. It could be
a prevention sometimes.
Or sometimes, yeah, exactly. Something, it just helps a little bit.
Yeah. And I haven't used it too much, I've used it a bit, but you feel safe with it on. It's a strange way to describe it. Like if you have a little injury, you put that tape on, it feels like it's stronger somehow.
Oh, we need a physio to explain us the physiology behind that, because it's not just a feeling. We're not.
No, exactly. There is a reason. Physios, come on, message us on Instagram. Why'd you put the tape on?
Yeah, exactly. Because all of these athletes, I mean, most of the athletes, they don't come alone to the competitions. They have a full team. They have a coach, national coach usually. They have a physio. Sometimes some of them even have a mental trainer. Not very often. I mean, everybody has a mental trainer nowadays. No, not everybody. Everybody should have a mental trainer. Not all the time the mental trainers are here.
Yeah.
And it's not always fair. The bigger federation have a better staff than the smaller federation. competition isn't fair.
Yes, exactly that.
Okay, Philip's climbing very well. So that was the hold. That was a surprise. But you can see his elbow is going a little bit up while he's clipping.
Yeah, he's onto that hold that I had to ask about on the left here. This sort of it is a slopey sort of. Yeah, you can see a shot of it there.
Straight away, he's better. He's resting. I mean, resting. This is very relative. Anybody would be dying on his hold, but these athletes can hold by pretty much nothing. Okay, very efficient, that clip. Now he's got a big movement. Well done.
Yeah, he's on the head wall now. Right hand over the top. That's good work from Philip Schenk.
So in 3 hold, he's reaching the highest point. Let's see. And he seems quite composed, but he's got to be pumped. There's no alternative.
Yes,
okay,
he is.
it's a clip here.
Could you think he can get anything back with that heel, or is it just too awkward a position? I mean, he's shaking the left, I guess.
I wouldn't get anything back. Okay, I think he's doing extremely well here.
Yeah, this is good. Philip moving into the high point here, comes up with the left hand, slips there, and he falls.
So the route setters told us on that crimp that he was just touching, you have to obviously hold it. What's it called in English? With how much strength you can hold the hold when you arrive fast on it.
Like, oh, I know what you mean, like contact strength.
Exactly, that's the word in English, the contact strength.
Yeah.
Because this hold is terrible, and the slower you arrive to it, the more likely you are to hold it.
Yeah. Well, this is Mei Kitaki, who is underway for the women.
One more Japanese.
Honestly, this Japanese squad. And we've spent a lot of time talking to the Japanese squad about this because the quota changed this year. So now you have less athletes you're allowed to bring to competitions. And that's really ranked up the stress, in all honesty, in the Japanese team. Because, you basically have to podium to stay in the team, which is
horrible.
Wild. Yeah.
Unfair, nearly you'd say. But at the same time, yeah, you want to see people from all over the world. And during the Olympics, it was the same problem. There was only 2 Japanese allowed. It was the same for the French, actually.
Yeah.
One of it was Meiji, didn't get a chance to go to the Olympics, despite actually being at the level,
yes.
just because only 2 French were allowed. It was the same game for the Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy unfair, actually, when it happens. I have no idea how you feel. I think Meiji went for a really hard time actually afterwards, but he's obviously come out of the other way.
It was, and he's talked about it quite vocally that he's struggled with that. And actually, in fact, Julian last night was talking to me. The Olympic slump is a real thing that a lot of athletes have had to deal with this
I would say absolutely every of these athletes have come from some struggle.
Yeah.
Some decided to actually skip the comps. Toby had to cross the desert before coming out the other way.
Oh, sorry, knee bar in there on the right. That's cool.
That was actually the original method, but I've seen, or maybe I missed it, but I didn't see any athlete doing that.
That's the first time I've seen it. Chaehyun then, and he's got it locked in. And it's quite clever because it does allow you to take a little bit of pressure off the arms onto those cribs. Leaderboard on the right, so Philip Schenk is leading the way just with a plus. 37 plus over 37, Jonas. And Stefano Gasol.
Going quite high, huh? So I'm hoping we're going to see a top.
Yeah.
But not too many either.
Not too many, exactly. The setters have very specific criteria, don't they? Mei Kitaki, big move from her, cutting loose on the left-hand side. She's looking strong still. Interesting stuff here. It's a resistance route for both sides of things.
2 Asian athletes on the wall. I think this is one very real truth in climbing. At the minute, a lot of people say that the Asian body is made for climbing.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm saying that it's absolutely nothing negative because I'm half Vietnamese, okay?
You're half Vietnamese?
Yeah, it's not obvious.
No idea. So you've got an unfair advantage.
No, sadly, my body doesn't look Vietnamese. I would love to be a bit lighter. But
well, look at this. Mei Kitaki falls just below the head wall there.
That is definitely a hard move. 3 girls have fallen here.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's the high point at the minute.
The setters told us there was sort of a rail, like just half a pad rail up there to get through the head wall. And Noah on the right-hand side has really struggled with the jam, sort of had to figure that one out.
Yeah. maybe he hasn't trained enough for this job.
I mean, it might be, you know, it's one of those things you don't... I mean, I speak to so many climbers now who have, like, barely climb outdoors, you know.
Yeah, but nowadays they train on the jumps indoors, especially the Japanese athletes. No, barely climb out. That's the thing. If you train outdoors, your training isn't intense enough. We're talking about 6 minutes. When do you do a route in 6 minutes?
Yeah.
Pretty much never.
No.
So usually either they don't allow themselves or the trainers don't really allow themselves to train outdoors too much. This is a usually, okay? Because Stefano Ghisolfi climbs only outdoors at the minute. But
Yes.
I mean, there's always an exception.
That is true. But, you know, he's maybe slightly slipped behind in terms of, you know, the standard of the field.
It's true,
So it shows. And that's no disrespect to Stefano, who's one of the greatest climbers in the world. But, you know, I think you do have to be very dedicated to indoor climbing nowadays.
And it's getting worse and worse. To be honest, even 15 years ago it was already true. And now it's pretty much impossible to have the time to perform indoor and outdoor. Actually, Brooke Raboutou just pushed the female level.
Hang on, let's just look at Noah here, because he is up towards the head wall at the moment, trying to look for a heel. He can't find it. His last result was 27th. He's going to improve on that one, but I don't think that's enough for a finals place for him. He is down. And then on the left-hand side, who have we got there? We've got Anja Kolher from, Brazil. Oh, right, now this is exciting. So, first Brazilian woman to get into a semi-finals pretty much since the records began here, since about 2007. So an incredible performance from
That's
her.
interesting, because there's been quite a few really strong
Women.
Brazilian guys.
Women.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so she's the first woman to do it. In fact, only 3 Brazilian men have made the finals, and all it was in lead. And the last time was back in 2009. So for Brazil, for South America here, this is a big moment for Anja.
Okay, but then Felipe Camargo has done a ton of finals.
Yes, he'd be one of those men.
Yeah.
This is the stats I've been told, okay? So
No, I think your stats are right. I'm
Yes.
just saying...
Felipe was cool. I met him properly for the first time. And
But that's much more outstanding. Like, basically, when you come from a continent that has no role models, how do you make it? How do you believe that you can do that?
yeah. No, exactly. And I think going to Brazil, going to South America for the IFSC was something that really helps that, you know, because we're out there, you know, the crowd are seeing their athletes compete. So I think things like that are important.
Yeah, a lot of it is about belief, because you can be sure there are incredible athletes. I have no idea if the infrastructures are good enough to train over there.
Yeah, there's not. Yes, exactly. That's part of the problem, and that's always part of the problem. I think when you're into countries that are developing their climbing, is that. Right, Martin Stranik underway on the right-hand side. He loves Chamonix. He's got medals here a couple of years ago now, back in 2021, I think. And it's lovely to see Martin climbing really well yesterday. And look at this from Anja as well. I mean, it's two sides, isn't it? You know, she hasn't got any experience, so she doesn't know how necessarily to deal with this.
But the
also there's no
upside
pressure.
is exactly no pressure, which is it's definitely something that lasts a few years. You got everything to win and absolutely nothing to lose, so you're just attacking.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you have good results, you're defending. And this is a very tricky period. You have to figure out how to not behave like that, because defending isn't good enough.
That's a good point. Oh, she touched the block hold, had to come down. Twice she went up to it, but what a performance from Anja. First semi-finals.
Yeah, the routes are so hard, there is no room for mistakes, basically. As soon as you're a little bit imperfect, you're off.
Yeah.
But they're all on site. They had, oh my god, 8 minutes to read? 6 minutes.
6 minutes to read, yeah.
I've read a million words and I don't remember anymore.
The thing is, when you hesitated then, my brain just shut down. I thought, I should know that. Why don't I know that?
Yeah, but it looks professional. I should have said, oh yeah, the timing changed. No, it didn't. It never changed. I just forgot.
That is quite all right. You are relearning this one. So Martin in these 360, cheetah hold pockets here. Up to the nasty one. It's half crimp, half sloper, half sort of wrap, that left hand.
He looks very powerful actually as a climber.
Yeah.
Like a little bit unusual. More muscular.
Yeah. he's one of those. He tends to climb quite quickly, but he does enjoy Chamonix. You know, it's one of his favourite comps. Up to that second wrap.
I mean, everybody loves Chamonix. No, it's the. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm a little bit biased
because you won here.
And I'm French, so you know, French people like to sing Cocorico.
I live here, so I quite like it too. I mean, right now I'm looking up. We have paragliders overhead. We've got people in the big mountains climbing. There's single pitch rock climbing, and then there's a competition. As Martin hits the left hand. Lynn van der Meer from the Netherlands is underway. And listen to the crowd allaying him up as he approaches the high point.
Okay, man, you're going to tell me, not many strong competitors from the Netherlands, right?
No, exactly. So this is why Lynn is really good to watch. And she's so strong, climbs a lot outdoors as well as indoors.
Okay, that's unusual again. Yeah, because there's a lot of strong athletes from Belgium and very few from the Netherlands. Joop Verhoeven being an exception, obviously.
Yes.
He's a legend. He's coaching, actually. He's somewhere in the crowd.
Is he here? Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I don't know who he's coaching. Maybe Austrian climbing team?
He does a lot, doesn't he? Because he does a lot of setting in Innsbruck as well.
Yes.
Right, Lynn is not always the fastest climber, but he's got amazing endurance. There's 5 minutes on the clock here.
Oh, yeah, that's this new limit of 6 minutes. I mean, It's not new, sorry, it's very old. It's just very strange to me, because when I started competing, it was 12 minutes.
12 minutes?
And people were still running out of time.
No, wow.
But yeah, then obviously things had to accelerate, because it's a bit boring.
Yeah, for TV, that's quite a long time, isn't it?
But 12 minutes isn't actually a very long time to climb.
For you? When we have 24 athletes doing 12 minutes, it would be quite long, I think.
Yeah. But 6 minutes, basically all of these athletes, there's kind of no choice. You have to learn to climb quickly.
Yeah. And, you know, we saw that adjustment. I mean, Anna Verhoeven, who I think actually is here, you know, she was one of those who struggled with that adjustment. You know, she did run out of time a lot. But we have some athletes coming up later. Laura Rogerer, for example, Annie Sanders. You know, there are some who still battle.
Yes, you're right. And actually, there was a moment where all the athletes had a watch to make sure when they were on the last minute. Okay. And I don't see that many anymore. So it's like this new generation, they have adapted so well. Yeah. And maybe the style is so much faster.
Yep. And there are clocks pointing upwards at them from lots of different angles.
They were always there, but when you have to look backwards, it's a bit boring.
Right, Lynn with a very high heel hook rocks up on it.
Dynamic movement, and then, sending the foot. Yeah, now she's gonna, I would imagine she's gonna have to accelerate here a little bit, or not.
I think she'll have to pick up the pace. Yeah. Up with the right hand.
I mean, you just said she's climbing a lot outdoors, which would explain why she's climbing slower. Because you don't have to be that fast outdoors. It's usually more endurance.
It's a different style, isn't it? Now, Yannick Nigel underway on the right-hand side. You should go and watch a piece we did with him in Bali, where he talks about, the health problems that he has to deal with diabetes. And it's a really interesting interview we did with him, because it's something he has to monitor constantly. He has the patch on his arm on the right-hand side.
Wow.
But he is having a heck of a season. Double semi-finals in a row now. Lynn still fighting, 2 minutes 48. She's actually still got lots of time as well. We keep talking about being slow, I think a bit unfairly, because she's got time.
But she's consistent. She hasn't paused. She hasn't hesitated. I haven't seen a mistake, to be honest.
No, she's looking great.
She doesn't seem actually pumped at all.
No,
so
not at all.
She might do really well. We'll see.
Yeah, no elbows, straight arm resting. Good work from Lynn. Yannick comes into the jams. Gets that fist jab into a finger lock, I reckon.
It's going to be a little bit painful, those two holes.
Yeah, they're quite protruding, quite sharp, aren't they?
But in comp, you don't even feel the pain anyway. Okay, Lynn is on a... I don't think there's a hold on her left hand. Or maybe a jib.
Yeah, she's gone feet first through here. Everyone else has done now what she... And great, because a lot of athletes have had to just flick into that left hand. She can do the stretch. Cuts the leg, she falls this time, but that was a lovely bit of climbing from Lynn van der Meer.
Oh, so the first competitors have done really well, because they went really high, so they're going to be still at the very top of the ranking.
So they just did it to scare the setters.
I bet it worked. I should ask them. Are you breathing a little bit now?
Honestly, their faces. I wish we had cams on the. I'm glad we don't because they'd kill us. But it'd be very interesting to watch their faces.
It is such a tough job, and for a while nobody paid attention to what it was to be a route setter.
Yep. And now it seems like the internet loves talking about it without maybe appreciating all the intricacies that goes into it.
But it's like they have to be incredible climbers. They have to handle so much pressure, and they don't get to become superstars.
No. Exactly. If they've done a good job, no one talks about it.
Exactly. Everybody says it's normal.
Yeah. Yannick, elbows up now as he approaches the head wall transition, locks off this right arm. I think he might have to drop down. He does drop down to shake. He got caught in two minds. He was half going to go for the big bump and then half sort of a lock off into it.
Yeah, let's see if he managed to save that, because that's a big movement. No, yeah, as I told you earlier, but you knew that before, there is no space for a mistake. So he hesitated, and I'm sure a few athletes, maybe Toby and Sorato, can afford to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Jacob Schubert, terrible. Terrible. He's God on earth. He can make mistakes, and the more mistakes he does, the better he climbs. It's crazy.
It's annoying, isn't it?
I remember seeing him in a final, and he was literally about to fall on the second quick draw, and he still topped the route. Austrian Championship. Anyone, obviously.
Natsumi Hirano underway. Just to let you guys know at home, we're going to have an interview with Max Bertone in a minute. He's going to come on screen and talk to us,
cool.
but we're just setting that up, so it's going to be happening in a couple of minutes.
Great, I didn't have a chance to speak to him.
So Caroline, if I just talk to you, Max, can you hear me?
Yeah, again.
Hello, Max. Max, congratulations on your run, but it looked like a tough one out there. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that was a very tough route for me. I was kind of tired the whole competition. From the qualification, I didn't feel so good, a bit tired after Innsbruck. And then I hope the qualification, the semi-final, would be a bit easier but like more endurance style and less bicep style. But it wasn't. It was very my anti-style, so I wasn't ready at all for that. So yeah, it's a very, very medium try. I'm really not proud of myself on this try, but I couldn't do anything more, so I'm going to train harder and get more ready for Madrid.
Well, Max, I'm commentating with Caroline Ciavaldini here in the commentary box, who is certainly behind you, saying how you guys come from the same island, so you have lots of support here and also from that French crowd. Tell me about the crowd briefly. Was it fun to climb in front of?
That was super fun, as always. I went to the crowd and they all cheering for me. I was not ready for that. It was very insane, very, very incredible to climb in front of this whole crowd.
Do you find it harder, Max, when it's a French crowd?
Sorry, what did you say?
Est-ce que tu trouves ça plus difficile quand c'est une foule française?
No, I don't find it harder. It's a bit like there's more pressure because you want to give everything and you want to show that you're here for the French. But it's always so fun, and yeah, I'm not really thinking about that. I'm just in my route and I'm just having fun.
All right, Max. Well, thank you so much. Lovely to talk to you. Fingers crossed for finals. We'll wait and see. Appreciate you.
No, I'm not going to be in finals, but
I'm being optimistic.
Yeah.
Cheers, Max. Thanks,
Cheers.
Mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Right, let's crack back to the climbing then, because Alex Megos is underway on the right-hand side. Right now watching. We are watching, who are we watching here? We're watching Natsuchi Hirano underway on the left.
Oh God, it's Alex Megos. Okay, superstar. He's just starting. He's not going to be faced by a hand jump at all. Actually, he's resting on it. Some athletes were struggling. Alex Megos is a living god in climbing. Let's call that.
Yep. I like that. And he told me that he was really disappointed with how he climbed in Innsbruck. You know, he just thought he had a terrible round. He hated it. So
yes,
I'm
he
hoping
even publicly put it on in his Instagram.
Yeah.
But he still went for Chamonix afterwards. So he's persistent. Obviously, he's persistent. Otherwise,
revenge, I think, for him coming through here. And look at on that left-hand side, she's doing really well. Look at that deep drop knee in order to drop into position for Natsumi. And she crosses through into the glass holds.
Elbow a little bit up again, so she's a bit pumped. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a long way that right hand. You can see how tired she is.
Yeah, and if the elbow is up, you have no power to start the movement. So yeah, it looks like Alex is climbing very well now. So
Yeah, he's doing great here on the head wall. This is the hard move, but he does slip a little low, actually, for Alex. I think that's going to leave him outside of a finals place as well.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll see.
So this
okay, I hope he's going to enjoy his comp a bit more.
Yes.
Maybe not.
Yeah, it was interesting talking. I find Alex can be, very honest sometimes, especially about his own performances, and it's quite refreshing. He just says, it was terrible. And I think I always try to make it sound like it, I want to support the athletes, and he's like, Matt, come on, it was awful.
He's tough on himself, but at the same time, you don't really get to be nice on yourself and be at the very top level.
Absolutely agree with you.
Not great for happiness, but...
No, but I mean, that's what, being an elite athlete, that's what it's about.
Not
it's
happy,
suffering.
You
It's being miserable the whole time.
Something to dig there, but not the moment.
Yes, you can explain to me later on why you do this to yourself. Right, Lucia Tarkas is out for Slovenia. She's pretty much done every World Cup this year, so it's good to see her.
As usual, super strong Slovenian women. There's 3, I think.
Yeah, for lead, they have such a strong squad, yes.
Female, always.
Female, yes.
Something to say about heritage.
Yes, maybe. Maybe it's... Yeah, well, I wonder why that is. It's interesting, isn't it? The women seem to be stronger than the men.
I think, it's because there's always been, I think Martina Kufa, who lives here actually nowadays. She was the first Slovenian to really be strong, actually winning World Cup. And then she showed the way to, let's call that the Slovenian Armada.
Yeah, those coming behind, yeah.
So first it was, before Mina Markovic, Maja Vidma, Mina Markovic, the goddess of climbing, Janja now. Yep. And so the girls know exactly where the level is. So they know how to train, they know what it takes, and they make it.
And there are some very strong men as well. Remember, Doumont Skofitz won the overall title, so, we can't forget them.
No, of course not.
Right, Ufai Pan on the right-hand side. That gold medal he won, the boulder in Bern, was still just haunting for me.
And I thought he was super young, but actually he's been doing World Cups for more than...
It's been a while for him. I mean, he had this real... I mean, he talked about this in this interview he did with us, where he, COVID hit and his world sort of fell apart, really struggled to come back, almost stopped climbing, battled with injuries and all the rest. So that gold medal the other day was amazing. And he's he is not comfortable on the jam at the moment.
Maybe China needs to train on that.
Yeah.
Despite being a boulderer, I mean, at least he's very good at bouldering, where you would think he has this movement repertory.
Yeah.
But no.
No, he really had to fight through that. He did work it out, but you wonder how much energy that's cost him.
He's done, I don't know if he's done all the bouldering comps, but he must be tired from his season already.
Yeah, Team China generally. I mean, they are travelling around Europe at the moment in sort of a squad. But they don't go home. They'll go home after Madrid.
You want to go back to Brazil? You love Brazil.
To be honest, I had a good time there. Lucia Tarkas doing well on the left. This is the first of the really hard moves, it looks like, for the women. She goes high, rocking up on that right heel. Ufai Pan turns it into a boulder move.
Okay, Matt, you hate when I ask that. What did he do in Innsbruck in the lead? Did he do the lead or just the bouldering?
Yeah, no, he competed. I'm just going to get it right.
It's super difficult actually to perform at the same time and lead and in bouldering because it's not the same pretty much muscle.
Yes.
Obviously some athletes tell you wrong. Toby did the podium in Innsbruck.
Sorry, we lose Lucia Tarkas there, dropping down on our shot. He was... my computer's just stopped working. 17th in Innsbruck.
Wow, okay.
But he was, he had this back injury. And it was exacerbated by a nasty fall in Bern, and you could see it in Innsbruck that he was really struggling with the movements. I did talk to him about it, and he said, look, it's all right, I'm managing it, but, having fallen already for Ufai Pan, that endurance maybe not quite there yet. Right, Mattia Pozzi about to come on.
Such a tough world, no? He won a World Cup just a few weeks ago. Yeah. You should be on the clouds. And then you land back on Earth straight after.
Okay, lead endurance kicks you in the ass. You have to leave the stage. Horrible. Jesse Grupper comes onto the stage. He made a finals last time around. Lovely to see him back where he belongs. on the top spot. And he's actually he's sponsored by Trango Climbing, and Trango Climbing provide all the equipment for the IFSC. So the ropes that he's using with this special red section that indicates to a belayer where the rope is running out, so you don't lower your climber through the belay device. They provide that. They provide the tote bags, all the quick draws, and they're a pretty cool company to work with.
Oh, look at that. He's got a tape with USA on that. That's pretty fancy. I want the same, please.
Now, does that add to the physiotherapy qualities of the tape?
Obviously.
Physios
Obviously.
of the world. Where are you? I haven't checked my Instagram to see if I've got messages from physios yet. I'll have to do that.
Oh my god, seriously, I've never seen that before.
I mean, it's a very USA thing to do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Represent. No messages from physios. Come on, physios. You must be listening. Right, Mattia Pozzi on the left, and I just have... I'm a massive fan of
Oh
this
yeah,
lady.
me too, actually.
Yeah.
She's actually one of the athletes that I take care of, because she's a part of the La Sportiva team. I had her on the phone recently.
Please send her more shoes. She needs everything. She's just amazing. Yeah, it's. I do tell the story a lot, but she did the commentating with me in Innsbruck the night before the semi-finals, because I don't think she really expected to do as well as she did. Then made finals. So we had this running joke that she has to do the commentating if she wants to progress into a round.
Okay. Well, I hope she's going to do great, because she missed finals really from not that far. Yeah. She's I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all lovely, but I know her and she's lovely.
Oh, she's just amazing. But she's struggling on this move, having to drop down. This is interesting. We know the setter said it does get hard here. But
that's
Mattia
the right method now.
Yes.
She was on the wrong method, and yeah, you had to turn your wrist.
But that will have cost her something psychologically.
Yeah, I hope she manages to accelerate and kind of forget.
Oh, Jesse dynamically almost goes into that crack. I tell you, you get the feeling she just needs a moment to reset, and this might be that moment.
It's really that thing, you know, you need to let your body climb, but your brain is just like going a little bit too fast. But you can't also not think.
No.
You just have to think what you need to think.
There's our leaderboard. Top 8, remember, will progress. So Mattia is in the danger zone with 26. Natsuki Tani leading the way with 35, and 4 Japanese athletes inside of that top 8 currently. And for the men, Philip Schenk 37 plus, just over Jonas and Stefano Ghisolfi. Down in 8th, Max Bertone. He said he didn't think he'd make finals, and I think he might be right.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. He's already 8. Yeah.
There's some quite good ones to come on this one.
It's really interesting how you really expect that it's just going to go higher and higher, and you're always surprised that it doesn't function like that. I think it's just that the level is so dense now that pretty much every athlete who goes into semis, it's not that they all can win, but they all have a spot in finals.
Yes.
Basically.
I mean, it's just, I think the gap's just shrunk.
Yeah. So then you see the turnover is a bit more, but it's more that the level is so dense. Exactly that.
Jess is struggling here. He's got that right toe in, now removes it. It was a nasty little scrub move. He had to do that. Mattia Pozzi as well has a shake and a bit of a bend in that right arm, and it's a very powerful section to come here for her.
Come on, Mattia.
Into slopers. It's clever setting, because obviously that her right foot has been blocked, so she can't get a good heel. But Jesse crosses through. He's grimacing.
He needs to turn on that hole, but because the elbow's up, it's really difficult to turn. Come on.
Big move for Jesse. The thing is, if you haven't seen Jesse before, by the way, he does this a lot. We think he's going to fall off. He doesn't. Mattia does fall off. Jesse still carries on. Mattia looking a little disappointed there. It all starting to go wrong.
Yeah, it's just like she didn't start it right. It's super difficult to catch up.
Yeah.
God, he's actually doing great now.
Honestly, this is why he's the most stressful human to watch climb.
But he hasn't clipped, and that is really a problem now.
Yes, you're right.
Because he should have clipped way earlier, and I think he's...
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes it might be the fact that he thought he was going to fall off, so wanted the plus points, and then realised, actually, I could clip. You see that happen quite a lot.
And sometimes when you're too pumped, you have no space to clip, and you end up having to go down, and you're so frustrated because you're like, I could have done one more movement, but at the same time you hadn't clipped.
Pump brain. That's what it's been described as to me.
So normally when they read in 6 minutes, they remember every single movement, they have all the methods in their head. Sometimes if they're not sure of the methods, they have alternative methods. I used to say you put question marks in your head. And so he should know most likely where to clip every hold, nearly where to chalk. This is pretty crazy how much they can remember in 6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly that.
Manon Hily and French, so obviously, again,
big reaction from the crowd, yeah. Yeah, again, big fan of Manon.
She's from Marine Island as well.
Is she really?
Of course.
I've never been, and I really want to go.
What do you mean you've never been? There's been another World Cup. Maybe you were too young. Okay.
Yes. Well, I didn't have the job.
I'm going to tell the French Federation they need to do another Reunion World Cup.
Please do, because honestly, it's on my list of places I need. And it's a domestic flight, technically, for France.
Well, yeah, it's a 12-hour domestic flight.
Domestic, doesn't matter.
You don't need new passport.
Exactly.
Oh, double France, Sam.
Yeah, Sam Abazou, his sister's climbing later on.
Yeah, actually at Chamonix we had the full team, you know, Sam, Leo and Zelia. And obviously their mom, he's a coach of the French team, so I don't know where the dad is actually.
Did you climb against their mum?
She was in the team with me, but she's a bit older than me, so I never really felt competitive with Cécile. More like I had a lot to learn from her.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, Manon Hily leads specialist, whereas Sam Abazou does boulder and lead.
Yeah, gosh. Yeah, so Sam went to the Olympics. He didn't do finals, but he climbed fairly well. I really like his style, actually.
I do too, and he's also just a really nice guy, which he always has time to talk, say hello. Very impressed by Sam.
Manon, until recently, was a nurse, actually. I don't think she's working full-time, but...
she wants to go back to it. That's her goal, once she finishes competing.
Oh, yeah, but well, everybody has to go back to a job, actually. Not everybody, but most people.
Are you in a job, proper job?
That's what's even.
Now, yeah.
1 day a week.
Come on. Right, Sam Abazou into the first.
Okay, man, I'm going to stop you. Being a pro climber is a job. I have to say that to my sister because she doesn't believe it's a job. Come on, Manon.
Yeah, the crowd don't know which way to look here. The athletes side by
Sam
side.
trained in Paris. He with his sister. I mean, no, they all train separately. They're quite self-sufficient.
Yeah, we're seeing that more and more within squads, you know, sort of almost breakdowns within teams of people using certain trainers. Right, Manon has a very high heel and she's trying to sit on to get this clip.
It's so hard, you know, the crowd is sometimes a little bit too loud and it's hard to stay composed. When sometimes as an athlete you think if they're cheering you so much it's because I'm doing well. And when you're French it's not necessarily the case. It's just, come on Sam,
oh, Sam slips the foot fired. That is such a hard move for the men there.
So most likely it will not be enough, but he's done quite well to be honest.
You talk about La Sportiva, Manon wearing unparalleled shoes then?
No, she's not a La Sportiva athlete, okay? She's from Marine Island, so I would love all the athletes that I love to work with La Sportiva.
Manon looking
for now.
Don't you dare. I'll fight you for her. This is getting personal. We'll have a battle. Manon with high toes and a right foot pressing in. She's looking. This is impressive for Manon. She's making a rest.
I've not seen anybody rest here actually. I hope she's doing well. Come on, Manon.
Oh, Manon finds it. She used an intermediate there, which I think is a foothold more than a hold.
Come on.
Dragging with the right hand. Crosses through. Those elbows are sky high. Still fighting.
Wow, she's managing to shake. Wow, I'd be surprised if she manages to go much further, but no, she's composing herself.
Manon giving absolutely everything and managing to clip. So, recovering here and managing to launch. This is a great fight.
Come on, she can do that. Go.
This is the move, though.
Yeah, she had her elbows, so...
Yeah. There is nothing left in Manon Hily. What a fight from her. Shakes her head, but that was a good back.
Yeah, the French team is, I mean, again, I'm French, okay? But the French team is really strong, but they're a little bit stronger in bouldering.
I know what you mean. Although, you know, yeah. I'm not going to analyse that. I'll get murdered by the French person next to me. This is the crowd. And this crowd, everyone talks about the Chamonix crowd, but it is special. You can hear the noise. And when you're up in the mountains, so I've been told, because I'm usually doing this job, you can hear the sound echoing around the granite, which is just cool. Very, very cool.
Can you imagine yesterday for the speed, it was so packed, it was actually quite horrible. Couldn't really see through the screens because it was too packed. Yeah. I can imagine tonight you better come early if you want a spot.
Right, we're just looking at the results here, and then we're going to talk to Jesse Grupper, who's been found by our camera team. So this is our top leaderboard down to Alex Megos down there. Jesse Grupper currently in 5th, so we'll chat to him. And then for the women, Natsuki Tani is still leading the way over Mei Kataki, who both women had a great run there. Mattia Pozzi, we just saw her out 28 in the danger zone. I think that might not quite be enough, and she will be squeezed out, but you never know. We'll wait and see. Right, Jesse, can you hear me, my friend? How are you?
I can. Hello, Matt.
Lovely to hear you, Jesse. What a fight. You're currently sitting in 5th. Tell me about that route, because you did the classic. We all thought you were going to fall off. Somehow you didn't. It was a real battle for you.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, it was super fun. I think that the holds were all new to us. We haven't seen those holds before. So I think all of us looking at them were like, oh, is this one bad? Is that one bad? We're not sure. I think overall the route flowed a lot better than it might have looked from the ground. And I think there are a lot of sections where you had to fight through it and figure it out while you're on the wall, which is one of my favorite parts of rock climbing.
I love watching you. I've got Caroline with me in the commentary box, Caroline Ciavaldini, who I think has a question for you.
Yeah, I was pretty sure you were going to fall. Your elbow was so high and then you managed to save it. Do you think you gave 100%?
I think I got close. I think I could have kept doing moves. I just kind of missed that clip down low, and I thought I could clip it higher. So a bit of a bummer for me. I think I could have kept going higher, but you know, that's the chronic of a professional climber. You always believe in yourself a little bit more than you leave on the wall.
Oh, well, Jesse, we believe in you. I'm going to ask you one more question because we've got a cleaning break going on in the background.
For sure.
Innsbruck, your first finals of the year. Just tell me about the emotions that you were going through on that one.
For sure, yeah. I feel like I started off to an okay start of the season, and I think that I just kept going up from there. Innsbruck is one of my favorite locations with the mountains in the background and its history in the sport. And I think it was really special for me to be able to, give it my all in that semis, and I hope to have more performances like that in the future.
Absolutely, and World Champs is next for you, I guess. So what's the plan now? After you off to Madrid after this? Or do you
I will go to Madrid next week, yeah, so pretty excited about that. For sure. Yeah, it might be a little hot, but we're excited for it.
Yes, we'll get ready for the sauna. All right, Jesse, well, thank you so much for talking to us here today, and congratulations on that run. We've got our fingers crossed for that 5th place. Let's see what happens.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.
See you later, Jesse. Thank you.
Cheers.
Well, there we go. As we look at the mountains, Mont Blanc has poked its head out of the clouds. There it is, the mountain in the middle, and the normal route up Mont Blanc goes from the right-hand side up the ridge. So we are going to watch a replay in a second of our current leaders, Philip and Natsuki.
Natsuki was the first one to come out of isolation zone, huh?
Yeah, she was first
cool.
one out and has done so well. This is the action from her. And you kept mentioning right foot glass here as she made the transition.
But we haven't seen anybody slip, so maybe it's not that bad after all.
I've been told, and I find this as well, that when you're on no techs, it's all about core tension. Like, you have to be really tight to hold yourself on.
Yeah, so most normal people wouldn't hold it, basically. But, I mean, these guys, they have iron abdominals.
Iron abs.
I wish it was the same for me.
Yes, I'm with you on that one. Well, this is Philip Schenk as we watch Natsuki fall there. And Philip Schenk has done this to us before, where he comes out early and climbs very well.
Yeah, and we want to see, so there's only 2 holds missing we want to see how it finishes, that hold, because the route setters told us you can see the last plastic transparent hold is a bit of a surprise again. It's way worse. Let's see.
Yes, let's see indeed. Well, there's our 2 leaders. I've got Jan Vert sitting next to me in the commentary box, our official IFSC photographer. Please go and check out his photos. There are some wonderful photos that he's been putting up on his personal channel and, of course, IFSC Instagram. Right, let's look at the overall rankings in a minute. So we're not going to show you the rankings right now, but we will show you the mountains, because this is honestly what makes Chamonix special, is this view.
It's taken me about, I don't know, 3 years to realize this was the Mont Blanc, because it doesn't look, it's not the most impressive one. Actually, don't make fun of me. I was a plastic comp climber. What's the point of the mountains?
Right. But you've done some divine providence, right?
I told you, first life, plastic. Second life, I actually did the Wapiti on Grand Capucin.
Yeah, Wapiti,
so
that was it.
Slightly different.
Okay. Well, we're just looking at the overall rankings sponsored by Euro Holds, and Neo Suzuki, who has had such a cool season, is leading the way just over Satoru Yoshida and Alberto Ginés López. Alberto with 2 bronze back-to-back recently. And as we go down, Max Bertone, I don't think he's going to improve on that score, but Do-Hyun Lee, Toby Roberts, Jesse Grupper we've just seen, and Philippe Schenk, of course, with 9:30.
Yannick Floyd just did the first 80 boulder last week, no?
Yes,
in
Flash 80 boulder.
Sorry. Yeah, of course.
Yes, I saw that as well. And it's interesting, though, because this year he's concentrating on lead, and then he's flashed an 80 boulder. So like, Yannick,
no pressure. But I mean, everybody knows he's so strong.
Yes, so strong. Erin McNice leading the way for the women over Shen So and Laura Rogerer. Rosa Recker as well. She's up in the top spot.
So it's Erin next to come?
Let's have a look. Erin after the cleaning break. No, Zelia will be up next. Erin is down in 3 athletes' time, so she'll be out soon. Yeah, so what is going on right now is what we call the cleaning break. So the route setters are on the wall. They clean the holds. They make sure that it's similar conditions for the second half of the competition. Caroline, I don't know if you've ever climbed just after a cleaning break. I suppose you can't compare, but
no, I wouldn't say that you feel it, to be honest.
Okay, interesting.
But also, maybe as a combat athlete, you have to not focus on the things that are not in your power. You know, if you start complaining that the conditions aren't as good for you, then you're not going to make it.
That's true, but we do love to complain as climbers.
Especially if you're French. Way worse.
Again, zero comment.
I just wanted to mention, I think there's 2 female route setters now. I think this is so cool, having a female route setter. This is kind of, when I was a combat athlete, there was no female route setters whatsoever. So
yeah, and that could be a big difference, because there is a physical difference between men and women, and like size as well.
Approach, mentality.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, Olga is one of our setters. Not sure the name of the other lady, I'm afraid, but I had a little chat with Olga. She was working, and when I left here at 11:45 last night. She was just about setting these routes. That is the level that they have to work through the night. Unbelievable. Right, Colin Duffy comes out, and it'll be so interesting to see what form Colin is in, because he's had just an up and down season this year.
But again, you were talking about the post-Olympic depression, let's call that. Colin's one of the rare athletes who's lived through 2 Olympics. He's made a medal in Paris. Wow, legend. And he chose to do most of the World Cups this year, which is intense, to be honest.
It is very intense. And, occasionally, and I don't think he'd mind me saying this because he's told me, but, there's moments where he's really struggled, especially when the frustration starts to kick in for him. So and then his results, suddenly 7th in Bern, smashed into a finals, 4th in Salt Lake. But on the flip side, 47th in Prague. So it's just up and down for him.
So much extra pressure, you are an Olympian, you're a double Olympian, so a lot of people look up at you and they expect you to be wonderful, like actually magical, and sometimes you're not. It's just really hard to live up to people's expectations sometimes.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
Actually, the athletes are the hardest of themselves, usually. Everybody is happy with them apart from them, to be honest.
Again, why do you do this? Into the mono then for Colin Duffy.
Yeah, no hesitation there.
Yeah,
he's got experience, despite being very young.
Yeah, lovely footwork as well. Perfect jamming, I'd say that from Colin.
Colin comes from the ABC team, from Robin Estafil, Raboutou now. So this is actually a lot of American athletes come from this team now. Brooke, obviously.
Yep. Yeah, the general move has been towards Salt Lake City for the US athletes now, more and more. But you're right, there are sort of different sections. I mean, it's a pretty massive country, isn't it? Right, Zelia Abasu gets a huge reaction, as she deserves, from this French crowd.
So yeah, the little sister of Sam. She's done a few podiums in World Cups now, in bouldering. Yep.
But again, an all-rounder, doing as many lead World Cups as as Boulder World Cups.
But most of them are all-rounders because they had to learn both for the Olympics. Obviously, it's changing now because there's going to be separate disciplines in the next ones. So it's kind of a massive change, to be honest, in their universe. Because this generation grew up and everybody told them, actually this generation is even worse, everybody told them they had to do speed as well.
Yes, that's true. Well, yes, you are right.
When they were little.
Yeah.
And then the rule changes, and they have to do only lead and bouldering. And now the rules change again, and it's going to be either they specialize, and which one do they choose, or they don't specialize and they try and go for both. And is that a good choice?
By the way, Colin just powered his way through that crux on the headwall. Super good stuff from him. And look at this, looking fresh at the moment for Colin Duffy. This will be up into the top 8 by now.
Let's see if we can see the last movements with him.
So much more controlled than other people we've seen.
Suddenly he's got endless endurance.
Yeah. That's what I mean by Colin. When he's on, he's just unstoppable.
This movement is difficult.
So awkward, isn't it?
I think it's because the left foot is so terrible, it's really hard to pull on it. It looks like it's a no texture foothold as well.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I'm seeing everyone kind of explode off it backwards and gone. Zelia on the crimps with the heel locked in now as she rocks up.
Zelia looks so much like her mum, a young version of her mum. Not the climbing, just her face.
Yes, that Abazu family is a dynasty within climbing.
Very flexible climber.
And she's resting now. The leaderboard on the left-hand side. Sorry, right-hand side.
She's really young, but she, like Colin, despite being really young, she already has a lot of experience.
Yeah, she does. It feels like she's been around for a long time, but she hasn't in reality. You know, it's only been a couple of years, and she's got a high heel. Interesting.
Come on, Zelia. I want to see a French in final, please.
Well, Manon Hily currently is in 4th, 33 plus for her.
Yeah, so if Zelia takes the top spot, then maybe she'll be in final. So, come on, Zelia.
She's looking good at the moment for it as well. But maybe this is the move, isn't it?
Are you not allowed to be biased when you're commentating?
I have to stay very neutral. You can do what you want.
She can do it. If she holds it, the next one, she'll be... Yes!
Right, high point,
okay.
I think.
I'm happy now.
Yeah, that scoreboard hasn't been updated on the right-hand side, but it will be.
She's cruising it. Wow. Now, the crowd is so happy. Can you see that? Just like me, but multiplied by thousands of people.
I'm glad you're not doing what the crowd is doing. Look at that. Scoreboard gets updated. 36. So our new leader at the moment is Zelia Abazu.
I haven't fallen off my chair.
Not yet. There's still time. If she tops it, you might.
Look at that.
It's all about footwork, and she dropped on and saved herself on the black volume.
So perfect. Come on, Zelia. Come on. Keep on going. Just want to see it all the way to the end. Come on!
The left toe is on the edge of staying, and eventually she falls. But that is.
I want to applaud. I'm not going to applaud because.
Just take yourself off air, then applaud. Just because it's too loud in the microphone. I love it when my co-commentator is cheering for one side. I think it's brilliant.
Oh gosh!
Why? Look, you are a French climber. You absolutely should be doing this. Zelia Abazu, though, regardless of how Caroline finds her, is climbed herself into the top spot. She's leading the way for the women here.
Oh, I'm so happy she's, I really hope we'll see her in final. It's getting quite likely, I guess. Not sure yet, because we have still, about 10 climbers still to go. And obviously really serious clients. But she was way above the rest, so let's see.
Yep, no, our cameras.
I wonder, she's right after the cleaning, so does it matter?
I mean, you're the only one who's ever told me that it doesn't make a difference. but I respect your opinion.
You don't have to respect my opinion.
I absolutely do. I mean, you've done enough.
I'm fine with people disagreeing.
Yannick Fleury then, as we said, he flashed 8C the other day, which is the first time that's been done, which is incredible. But he's been concentrating on lead this year, his main focus. He did do a boulder comp where he made finals as well, so,
Yeah, I wonder if that takes a bit of the pressure, because all of these athletes, they want to do well, but he's done really well on the rock last week, so he's got to be chill.
Yeah.
Maybe not, I don't know.
I think he's feeling confident this year. I get that impression. Then Julia Fisher, and I had a chat with her after a quali run, and I said to her,
Oh, he's high.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm interrupting,
No,
but
please
Yannick
do
is
interrupt.
obviously doing really well.
He's a
Let's
fast
see.
climber. He does like this. He topped the route in Innsbruck as well.
I felt like he was just starting a minute ago, and now he's already on the head wall.
Cruising. Is Yannick Floet at the moment.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's see. He's very strong, so maybe he's going to manage to do that movement that everybody felt. Oh,
No,
no!
falls just before, but we'll have to wait for Yannick. Yeah, so Julia on the left, I had a chat with her after quali, and, you know, I said to her, I think she was surprised. I was surprised how well she'd done, because she's, you know, she's up there at the moment in top 10. She just said, look, it's been coming. I feel so good at the moment. And she was like, yeah, it's a bit of a surprise, but, you know, this feels good here in Chamonix. So keep an eye on Julia Fischer here.
Okay, I will.
She's been my co-commentator quite a few times. Very eloquent in the way she speaks about climbing as well.
I'm looking what she's climbing with. Scarpa, okay. Is it?
I love the jealousy that's coming in. We're not really, by the way, allowed to mention certain sponsors here. Just
Okay, I haven't said anything, did I?
I mean, I also think you're fully allowed to. It's all right. I slipped in one of mine, so it's fine.
I love it. Matt is sat on his chair, but like with his feet on his chair.
Yes.
And obviously very comfortable with commentating his new sweet spot, basically.
Yes, I am.
Like I was literally liquid this morning, about to start, and you're at home, like having breakfast, pretty much.
I do love this job. It's very special. I feel incredibly privileged to talk about the world's best and have one of the world's best
It's
next
pretty
to me
weird,
as
no?
well.
Like you're talking to a microphone in front of a screen, because actually we don't see the whole wall.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. It's there. We have the atmosphere of the crowd, but yeah, we can't see the full wall. Right, Julia drops down, makes the clip, and this is the section where you've just got to keep moving.
I think you're right. She looks so comfortable and relaxed, and obviously the power machine is serious.
Yeah, she's on
But
one.
yeah, she's an Austrian climber. It's a super strong federation with so many legends, so much dream coaches. Actually, they just Kilian Fischer just stopped coaching.
Did he?
Everybody's crying.
No way.
Deep inside, but yeah.
Any idea what he's doing next?
I think he's gonna go back to being a teacher, just like his wife. I mean, I don't know if they're married with Anna, but they have 2 babies. From what I know, it was just a little bit too much for actually a life, a private life. Being a competition coach doesn't really allow to have a life.
Yes, I'm aware. Right, Chaehyun Amata. 29th in Innsbruck, not the best comp from him, but Bali, but he was 7th, so it's battling for consistency this year so far. Look at Julia, she goes for this high foot method and manages to chalk up as well. Chaehyun Amata then approaches the jamming section. Let's see what you can do here. Nice and easy. He's got the middle finger kind of locked inside.
And Julia was resting, but she looks so comfortable. Manon was resting there too, but...
Okay, so we're going to speak to Colin Duffy. Colin, can you hear me? Hello, Colin?
We can see Colin.
Sorry, Colin, I think you might be speaking, but we can't hear you, so we're going to try to sort out the sound on that one. Apologies. We'll just stick with the climbing right now. Julia Fischer on the left crosses through.
Oh, she might show us the top part of the wall, because she looks so comfortable.
She's really cool to see her climb this well at the moment. She's got flow.
Yeah, okay, that made me wrong, obviously.
So commentator's curse, but great performance from Julia. I think she'll be very proud of that one. Right, so Chaehyun Amata, we stick with him on our main screen. We are trying to get Colin back. We have a microphone issue, I think, but it's being fixed. I can see the guys sorting it. So, Colin, can you hear me?
Oh, we still can't hear him, sorry.
Sorry, Colin, we can't hear you. I appreciate your time here, Colin, but sorry, we can't hear your response. But I can actually see you, Colin, so hello. And if you can hear me, congratulations on that run, because it was amazing. Right, we stick with Chaehyun Amata here.
You should see the improvement of the setup. Like World Cups were already very serious back in the time, but now we have live commentating and live interviews with like stabilized camera. Everybody's speaking on microphones. It's so. Our sport has grown a lot.
Yeah, no, it has. I mean, we're trying lots of different things here, and thank you to Obsessed Media, who is running the production of this one. And in fact, we're going to bring Colin into the commentary box. Why not? Do you mind if you just give up your microphone very, very briefly? Because we tried to get Colin on. Colin, you can tell me about this move. How hard is it up there on the head wall?
It gets pretty strenuous on the head wall. The holds are quite positive, but the pump is really building. And this move right here, getting the foot high, she's doing a great job.
What makes this move so difficult? Because finding this left hand, everyone has fallen here, as does he. Is it just body position that makes that tricky?
Yeah, I think the whole climb kind of sets up for that move. It feels like you have quite a bad foot that you can't perch on. You just have to push off of it. And then the left crimp is quite small. The right one is slopey. So there's no way to do that move too slowly. You have to dead point and have enough in the tank left to stick that move. I felt that my left hand was a little too low on the dish, and so I didn't have enough compression to lift my body up and really get a good chance at that move. But
interesting. It's great to hear you. I mean, I know you're out of breath literally from your run. I just wanted to say thank you for this year, because I know it's been up and down. It's been sometimes hard, but it's so good to see you back at the level you should be at. Has it been a bit of a psychological battle this year for you?
I think a little bit. After Innsbruck, especially in the transition between bouldering and lead season, I was feeling a bit burnt out. I think maybe overtraining a little bit. At home, I balance school and climbing, so I train a lot, but not in big quantities. And then here in Europe, I've had some sessions with the team that last 5 to 6 hours, and I think my body wasn't accustomed for that, and so I took a nice chill week. I went to Switzerland and climbed at their new training center in Switzerland and rested, did a little bit of bouldering, and came back with a fresh mind for Chamonix, and I'm proud of the climb I put in today.
Clearly paid off. Colin, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Good luck, hopefully, for finals later on. We'll have to wait and see. Cheers,
thank you very much.
Thank you. Right, we have Julia Abazou on the brain, Julia Martin on the left-hand side, and Giovanni Placchi on the right. And Julia, everyone from Spain keeps telling me, watch Julia, she is the future of this squad, and she is very, very strong, super young as well.
I climbed with her last week on the Briance wall. I didn't know who she was. I was dying in her warm-up routes. I was like, oh my god, the bouldering, the World Cup level has gone so much higher, but I'm quite happy to see that at least she's obviously brilliant.
Yeah, what was she like on that Briance wall? What's her style, do you think?
Perfect.
Right, fair enough. It's funny, no one's ever said that about my climbing.
I'm sorry, Matt. Your commentating's perfect.
No, it's definitely not that. I wish. Right, Giovanni approaches the crack now to see how he does it. No hesitation, straight off the right.
I crossed him in the elevator this morning, Giovanni, and I just told him have fun. He was just a little bit shy and smiling, and you don't really know what to tell them on these days because they're so focused. You don't want to bother them.
Yeah.
You don't want to interrupt, but you're so gropey at the same time. You would really like to be there.
Chaehyun launches, cuts loose, brings the right foot up, and it's strong stuff from her as she shakes out that right hand.
You can see that that's her style. I could see that even last week, very chill, really relaxed. I think maybe her finger strength was really good.
So keep an eye on her. Giovanni on the right hand side has moved in past these clear new holes.
It would be interesting to compare the hand rates
Oh,
of
he
different athletes.
That was a very early slip from him, and you can hear the disappointment. Look down at his left hand immediately. It'll be interesting to see a replay of that one. Chaehyun is up into the head wall.
Well done. Well, she needs to clip soon. Yeah, well done.
This is strong stuff. Only Julia Abazou has been into this kind of territory. Falls coming through, but that will leave her way up the leaderboard.
Maybe it will be enough for the finals, we'll see.
Yeah, we're starting to sort of take some guesses here, aren't we? It's getting there.
9 more climbers, so nobody knows yet.
Yeah, not yet. Plenty to watch. Well, if you are just joining us, welcome to Chamonix. This is a lead and speed World Cup. The speed was last night, and you can go to the World Climbing Club, which will be up quite soon, or might be up already, in fact, to watch all of the results from that one. Right now, we're in the middle of the semi-final here, trying to get just 8 athletes to make the final. And there is, we were talking about her early on, Erin McNice in the background.
Okay, British athletes. I'm French, but obviously I've got a British husband, so I really like the British athletes too. Erin is just like Toby. Actually, they kind of came out of the hat. Is that an English expression? Nobody knew them.
Yes.
2 years ago.
Yes, I'm trying to think of an English expression. Came out of nowhere, we'd say probably. Yeah, she did. Erin did come out of nowhere, but wow, she cemented herself at the moment. I mean, she is just one of the best. You know, I mean, gold medals this year in boulder and lead. And I wanted to talk about time. That was it, because you said you knew the draws you got for time. That was before we had the time rule come in. Now we had the time rule. She matched Chaehyun's exact time in the final.
I still cannot believe this is how.
I know.
Impossible.
I know. I was just desperately scrolling my phone when it happened, trying to ask judges about what goes on in this scenario.
I don't even know when they started timers actually, because there isn't a starting mat. So obviously this is human. A human is actually detecting when she's off. So
that's a good point.
So obviously this is perfect.
Yes.
Sorry.
It was. I know. No, it's a very good point. I do know that the judges went back on the tape and they could link it directly to the clock. So they did check that during Wuzhang to make sure it was exactly the same. Quite how they did that, I don't know, but it was looked at repeatedly, like the moment they stepped up, so just to make sure. Yeah,
but a human cannot detect the
well, that's true.
100 per second.
Yes.
So no idea how they did that.
Maybe we need starting
Maybe they just wanted 2 people on the top.
I can promise you that wasn't the ideal scenario. We didn't have enough gold medals.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, we had to give her gold medal in Prague, which was very nice. Right, Hannes van Dyssen is already halfway through this men's route, which is not too bad down low, but builds as you go. And Erin McNice missed the crimp that time when she bumped the right hand.
Oh, we want them to go very high. I mean, we all want every athlete to go very high. It's impossible, but we want everybody in finals. Hannes, actually, this winter, or was it last year, he did a super cool deep water solo in
Espontas, right?
Yeah. So, he obviously is able to do several things. Incredible athlete, really quite humble.
Yeah, he is, you're right. Yeah, kind of like unaware of his own abilities sometimes, it seems. Just kind of for him, it's just what he does, and we're all just in awe of him. Erin shaking out, looking good as she hits the crimpy section. Hannes has her heel locked in as he comes into the side pull. Approaching hurdle. Erin has to be precise with this next move. It's a bit blind for her. She matches and hits it. We heard Colin Duffy talk about this sequence, how difficult it is, and Hannes is struggling it.
There's so much going on, I'm a bit speechless.
It's hard, isn't it? You need two sets of eyes.
It's too interesting. And once that Hannes is struggling, let's see how much he manages to hold on, and at the same time Erin is cruising.
Yeah, he's looking down at that clip, but I think he's climbed himself into an unclippable position here. He's going for the plus. Oh, wow! That left arm was just turning as he rotated through. And then, as you said, Erin. Now, this is the bouldery part of this route.
Okay, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. Erin is trained by Lattice training.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if,
you can talk about that for sure.
Yeah, Olitor, a legend. I think he's a legend of training. He's my husband's trainer, so obviously super cool guy, and clearly he knows how to make champions because he trained Toby for a very long time. At a period where UK had no champions, and then suddenly 2 of them come out of the expression that doesn't exist.
It says, and Lattice, for who don't know, is a UK-based training company. However, if you watch and you want to be as good as Toby Roberts, there's various plans you can sign up to. You can get, different levels of personal coaching or knowledge.
Sorry, you're not going to be as good as Toby Roberts, no matter what
are you talking about? If you're saying if I sign up to Lattice, I won't be as good as Toby Roberts. Well, there goes my subscription.
I mean, I literally said the trainers were amazing, but it's a limit.
I'm trying to hype here, They very kindly gave me a training plan back in the day, so I feel like I'm giving back now. Erin on the head wall, or just below it, makes the match. This will move
Erin has a YouTube channel as well, if you want to know much more about her.
A very good YouTube channel, Three-finger dragging this hold though.
You can see the finger power. This is very British. You guys are really strong at fingerboarding. bird strength, basically. Very British.
Yes, exactly. Hours in a damp cellar pulling on fingernails, basically.
This is, okay, the cellar. As long as you haven't been to the UK, you think it's a legend. Actually, it's not a legend. They actually have cellars.
Yeah, they do. Erin, all about the feet though. Bumps that left foot over.
I'm confident she's going to show us the very top of the route that we haven't seen yet.
I think you're right. Oh, but maybe not. She's fighting hard.
Come on, Erin. Come on, go on in. Oh, yes.
Kind of like two-free up here, sort of pinches up on the head.
So, yeah, that's a high point now. Oh, she's spun, but she's like really fighting for it.
A top spot for her. That's the last clip.
Let's see if she manages to stick. All of those are new holes. Most likely she's never touched them.
She jumps for the top. That left foot is a terrible hole to jump off as well. That little tiny jib.
Yeah, I think the route setters really wanted to make them work hard to reach the top.
Yeah, they want one, perhaps two tops. So it's quite an ask, this one. Right, Suzuki, Neo Suzuki, who won in Innsbruck, last climber out in a high-scoring round. There were 5 athletes who found the top, but he was the last one out, therefore Countback took the victory for him. I really like watching Neo climb. He's just got this, I don't know what it is about, I haven't quite figured it out, in all honesty, why I like him so much. But he's got this style that I just enjoy.
He doesn't like the crack though, just like, I think definitely the Japanese team needs to train on cracks because we've seen several of them struggle.
Wide boys, I know you're listening somewhere.
Go to Japan!
They will as well in a heartbeat, you know.
I think they've been already.
Well, he's through the crack section.
Okay, what do you love about Neo then?
I'm honestly still figuring it out. I think he's got this balance of it. He's got a wonderful flow that I wish I could emulate and have.
Extremely composed.
Very composed, but he also just has these moments where it's like a little bit shaky sometimes, and it kind of gets me excited. You know, it's on
so
edge.
You like them when they're not perfect?
Oh yes, absolutely. I don't want perfection. My job is to talk about this. If it was perfection, it'd be boring.
Sure.
Up he goes. Although having said that, I've commentated enough time with Yanya, who is perfect.
Yeah,
so
literally.
It's a different thing.
I was just thinking, actually, Yanya is not that far from perfect, so.
Yeah, but that's different. That's just like a privilege to watch.
I think if they
but Neo,
no.
there we go.
He's not the only athlete who's been surprised by this hold, actually, and the route setter warned us that it was going to be a surprising hold.
Yeah.
He went a little bit too fast, too confident, and the hold is way worse than it looks like.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because so often climbers know every hold on the whole
But this
circuit.
case is not that scenario because these holds are brand new. I just wonder how excited the route setters were when they saw these holds.
All right, next up, French athletes, and this lady is, we talk about powerful climbers. She's all power, 100% power in this community.
And she's also super kind, super nice, caring person.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm not biased at all with French athletes.
Sounds a little bit, I'll be honest.
Do you think it's the case every time you have an athlete commentating? Are they biased towards their country?
I tell them they're allowed to be, because it'd be ridiculous if not. Like, you know what I mean? It's in no way their job to not be biased. It's my job. And, I think I want passion in the commentary box. So if someone is like, enthusiastic and excited for a team, go for it. I mean, there are limits, obviously. You can't.
Yeah, no, I've seen Camille from very close. I made her be a coach at some events, some campus events that I organized, like the equivalent of the Women's Climbing Symposium. And she's so lovely. Sometimes athletes are a little bit on the clouds, but Camille she just likes people.
Connected.
Perhaps. Yeah, okay, that's the basic word for it.
Botticia, he's won gold medals in lead before. Let's see what he can do here in Chamonix.
Yeah, you were just saying amazing Slovenian guys too, and yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we might get into some trouble from the civilian team, having talked about the women so much. I hope they don't come from
nobody said the guys were not good, just
no,
the girls are incredible.
Yeah, exactly that. Luca he was 11 in Innsbruck. Best result was 6th in Wujiang way back at the beginning of the season.
That's the thing, how many million people in Slovenia? Not a lot. Okay, I'm not going to Google it, but really not a lot. And if you actually made a ratio of how many World Cup winners they've had, clearly this is unusual. There is something very special / magical in Slovenia.
And I guess it's a few things, isn't it? It's like having people like Yanyu coming through to inspire, and also to sort of create the infrastructure that they now have. Because it's their new wall in Copper is just unbelievable. Rivals Innsbruck.
Yeah, but you literally just said rivals, so it's not the only one.
Not the only one. That's true. I just feel like Innsbruck needs to be challenged every now and again for a European super gym.
And on the other side, in the UK, you don't really have really good facilities for lead.
I haven't lived there for 10 years, so I'll be with you on that.
And yet, you make amazing climbers.
Yes, we do.
So it's what is the recipe for legends? Nobody knows.
It's so hard, isn't it? Yeah, and I think if someone can unlock the secret of that, they'll make a lot of money. Luca comes up onto one of these pockets. We've seen athletes get caught out, so he's got to be careful. And Camille is being cheered on at every move here as she moves left now.
Can you hear it? It's so loud. You can hear it in French, the allez, 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 allez.
I can hear it. It's allez or gambas usually, those are the twos we hear.
Oh, the knee. That looks so scary, dangerous, but she's obviously fine.
She was fighting though in this section, isn't
she? She twisted her knee a few years ago in Briançon in the finals. So yeah.
Hopefully that won't be playing on her mind then. But she seems to have sorted the body position out now. Launch left. Luka Potačar is approaching the head wall. Really, the meat of the men's route is about to come, this crux section. Can she remove those fingers though? She has heel hook, but now she does. That must hurt. She's not happy with the heel placement. I think she might be relying a bit too much on it, but she's made it work.
That's interesting. So she's climbing with socks in her climbing shoes. That's quite unusual.
Yeah.
I think Sorato is too.
Luca looking good at the moment.
Let's see if he's gonna. Okay, one more hold and then he's gonna reach the hind. Oh, he's composed.
That move, isn't it? Such a beast of a move.
So a lot of athletes fell on the same holes with the guys, but are now going to be in equal positions because of the qualifications. So it's not too stressful for the route setters, even if obviously they would rather separate them.
Camille getting huge support from the crowd. She starts to rock up on the
She's doing really well, so I'm really hoping we maybe will see her in finals.
She's approaching where Zelia got to, isn't she?
I mean, not yet, but she's third at the minute.
Yep, she's getting there.
And she's composed despite having fought so hard on that heel hook where, to be honest, I thought we were going to lose her. But she's resourceful, and obviously you can feel the crowd. It's I told you it was powerful. The French athletes, they really want to be in finals in Chamonix. This is so special.
Yeah, they are emptying the tank, and you can see it.
Oh, that's so good.
Big bump for Camille. Could this be a potential
See,
finals
it becomes
place?
imperfect because she's so at her limit.
Yeah. All right, well, we have found Erin McNice, who has just come off the wall, and we're going to be speaking to her right now. Erin, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Wonderful. Erin, congratulations on that run. It looked good out there. You nearly finished the route. Just tell me about it generally. What kind of a climb is it?
It's a very basic climb. I think when I saw the routes, I wasn't really sure which was men's and which was women's, which was quite nice. And I feel quite tired in qualification, so I just wanted to come out and try my best.
Well, you certainly did that. You're sitting in the #1 spot, and obviously coming off the back of that bronze medal in Innsbruck. What are you going to be doing now? You've got a couple of hours to recover. I think you're going to get into the final, so what's the Erin McNice recovery plan?
Basically just hibernating in my room, probably reading is always the go-to for me.
Lovely. Well, look, Erin, thank you so much for speaking to us today. Best of luck for later on, and it's you have so many fans out there, and it's always a pleasure to watch you, so best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. All right, so we'll return to the action. Do-Hyun Lee with a big knee bar in on this crack feature.
I don't know if I'm right, but he's done a lot of the bouldering season already. So he must be tired. But he's done really well on the last comps as well.
He is Mr. Semi-finalist, is Chaehyun Lee, just in boulder. Like, he's just ridiculously good. And he's obviously good in finals, but not quite as good.
I would hate to be qualified like that. Oh.
But he's just, he turns up and he just flashes all the semi-final balls. You just think, oh my goodness.
I don't know. Do you think it's pressure or maybe a lack of luck? Or I'd rather say it's lack of luck than losing in your head. That would be horrible.
Yeah, I mean, he's made, so many finals as well. He's just a legend and very good. He's one of those sort of new school all-rounders, as is Osh McKenzie, who walks on.
Yeah, so she's from Australia.
Sorry, just to interrupt quickly, this is this nasty hole we keep talking about, the one that you have to go into the crack on. And it's a horrible looking thing.
But they said it was a mono and it's got 2 fingers in it, so interesting.
Yeah, it is, but that's what they have to sort of commit to get that jam, so you can see why they're struggling. Right, Osh McKenzie had a brilliant qualifying run yesterday, looked very strong.
Had a brilliant season, to be honest.
Super good, yeah. She's lives mainly kind of in on the edge of Switzerland and Italy. Chaehyun Lee wadges that left foot in. Osh McKenzie with the toe and then the heel.
I'm really surprised that the athletes managed to. There's been very, very little pause, like not even a week, basically a week, between all bouldering and all lead. And I would expect more athletes to focus on one or the other, but a lot of athletes are trying to do both. Or maybe it's just because Chamonix is so special, so they're doing Chamonix.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I mean, I think Innsbruck is always a strange one. We finish that boulder season, we start the lead season, and there's always this little period of time where you need to sort of regain that endurance, I guess, unless you're talking like Toby or Saratos.
But at the same time, bouldering is 4 minutes, and you have to do a lot of tries. So actually, in bouldering, you need endurance. True. So it's okay. It's not the same training, but it's not completely foreign to each other.
Yeah, you hear athletes don't talk as much anymore about, how difficult it is moving between the two. I remember when I started this, it was a real conversation that it took a while to get back into lead shape, and you don't hear that as much.
I guess I would still say bouldering, you also need a lot of coordination, and obviously we've seen pretty much no coordination in lead.
Yeah.
So I think if you can should I say that? If you can boulder, you can lead, but if you can lead, you don't necessarily know how to boulder. I have no idea.
No, it's an interesting
used to be absolutely not true.
Yeah. And I think route styles and sort of trends change things as well. Styles of routes makes a big difference. Osh McKenzie with a really high, awkward right heel there to make that clip. I love the pacing of Osh.
Okay, let's see if Chaehyun Lee is going to show us the top we really want to see.
You really want to top it, don't you?
No, I want to see somebody hold it. Not the same hold, but above. I mean, I don't know if it's the same. Looks like the same one, but I don't know, because they seem to hold that one quite well. And then, it's not going to show us.
There's going to be a lot of athletes with the same score on this one. It's going to be interesting to see how our leaderboard is.
No Austria tape on her, huh?
Not yet.
Australia.
Not yet. Australia, be listening. That is our leaderboard there. So yeah, look at the 36s.
Oh, actually, I'm wrong. This is a lizard or whatever. So it's kind of Australian.
True. I've got my head sideways. I'm trying to read the lizard. Is it a lizard? It might be a lizard.
That looks like an Australian animal.
I think you might be trying to see things with it.
It's not a lizard?
I don't know. It does look
a lizard.
Oh, she nearly slipped. That's a powerful way to do it, though. And she has got the power in the tank, but that would have cost her a bit of energy. And she does fall, yeah. She had to switch on boulder mode there. Sort of like save things.
We'll see at the end of the season how many athletes are actually managed to hold all of the competitions. I mean, There was
a lot of talk from a lot of athletes when the announcement was made about the Olympics. People were saying, I'm going to go for the double. I wonder how that will change in the next couple of years, because I think it's going to be pretty difficult to do both at the level required, but you never know. But Alberto Ginés López, our consistent bronze medalist this year, is out and about.
Legend.
Oh,
super young when he did his first medal. I mean, obviously when he won the first Olympics, nobody expected him. Must have been so heavy on him.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with, isn't it?
But he wasn't strong first few years, and then he qualified for the Olympics. He did really well again.
Yeah, he's come back, and he's put the doubters. He's made the doubters be quiet, basically.
Literally,
yeah. Which is, I'm impressed by that, because there was an awful lot of talk around this man. He's just told to shut up, basically.
I think the thing is, you never win by chance.
No, exactly, and that used to annoy me so much when people used to say that.
No, I mean, come on, have a go at it. Let's see if you manage to
exactly
win.
that. Like, you go try it. So there you go. He's such a talented climber. Now we've overhyped him. I hope he does well in this. Come on, Alberto. And then Lučka Rakovic is on for the women. We need to talk about her comeback story as well when we see her on screen, because as we see Alberto go right here, mountains behind him, into the pockets. Yeah, so Lučka Rakovic there on screen. This is her comeback year. She's been dealing with thyroid cancer, came back in Innsbruck and made finals, and it was unbelievable. She was our athlete of the week last week, and she just said to us that she had no expectations, but to come back from that and make finals,
can't quite imagine.
Yeah, it's a lot.
At the same time, obviously this is a happy spot. Once you've gone through that, you choose what is actually making you happy in life. Which is weird, because competition doesn't
Sorry,
make
look
you
at
happy.
this clip from Alberto.
It was too easy, so you just let go of the feet.
It is weirdly quite restful to do that, though, isn't it, sometimes? Like, just to hang on. I find it, like, occasionally you're like, why bother with feet when I could just hang?
No, I disagree. I'm French, so technique first.
Yeah,
so
true.
no.
The slab climbing master. So
I am not a slab climbing master, but there is a reason you've got legs,
Yeah,
but obviously,
Alberto
disagrees with me, right? So.
Or whatever, Alberto got it done, and there is Lučka with the high heels. She's super flexible as well as a climber. Really uses that to her advantage.
Okay, so he didn't fall in that trap. That's great. Let's see.
He's up with the right hand now into the pinches for Alberto. One thing you can say about Alberto is he certainly deals with pressure well.
But so experienced, despite again being young. I mean, what is being young now? All of these athletes, a few of them are over 30s, but really a few of them.
Yeah.
Climbing is a young sport, despite being super complex.
Yes, I think comp climbing is a young sport. I think climbing.
Oh yeah, of
generally.
course you can climb at 80 years old. So no, this is a live sport. Once you start climbing, you'll never stop.
Alberto on the head wall then. This is the big moment for him. Lučka looks like she's resting well. Looking in a bit of trouble.
But the heel was a bit strange. No, it's resting. It's fine, obviously.
Yeah, as well spotted by Alberto. I think he was about to get himself into a bad position, but he changed it to the right hand.
Staying really composed, this is experience. When you're a young athlete and you arrive on a head wall, you kind of lose your head a little bit.
Lučka makes the transition left easily. Alberto on the last few holes. Lučka falls. We lose her kind of out of nowhere there. Didn't look pumped, but Alberto still making progress.
Show us how it's done.
Oh, the foot on the bolt blocker seemed to do something for him there. There's no friction on it.
Okay, that's the high point now.
Yeah, so Alberto will
I wonder
move.
if he knows it. Okay, I want to see. Yeah.
That is a nasty last couple of holes there. Is that sort of a pop to
But he tried to skip the second to last hold, which is apparently really bad, and I guess he knew he was too pumped and he was trying to touch. I don't know if he's going to get the plus.
Yeah. Well, Alberto just shows what we've been talking about, really. So impressive.
Okay, he's going to be in finals.
Yeah, he will move forward easily. Takes a deep breath and looks at the Chamonix crowd here and a smile on his face.
Okay, see you tonight, Alberto.
Yeah, we'll see him later on.
Cool.
I loved Erin McNice. I'll go and hibernate in my room as well.
I've always heard her doing that. I think she's quite shy. I mean,
yeah. Right, Brooke Raboutou strides forward. Now, let's talk about outdoor climbing first. Excalibur. Well, it's got to be one of the hardest 9B pluses around. She sent it.
Do you know an easy 9B plus?
I mean, no, but that everyone I talk to about Excalibur is like, that thing is vicious. It's just one of those.
Yeah, Will Buzzy, it was his first 9B plus route. but he's not exactly a small client.
No.
And she did it faster than him. Sorry. But I mean, she's the boss. I think
she is indeed. This is her first comeback of 2025, already into a semi-finals, and it's like Brooke Raboutou has gone nowhere, it's good to have her back.
I think clearly she's dealt with we're gonna call that the depression of Olympics super well.
Well, she just decided to step away, concentrate on rock climbing, not try to force it. And some athletes have gone the other way, they've tried to do lots of comps and get through that slump. It's been fascinating.
Do you know if any athletes actually had a really long pose?
Well, she's one of the longest. I mean, this is the first time we've seen her this year.
No climbing pose, because I know Oriane had a serious
total
pose.
no. Yeah, I think Oriane's the only one I've heard of who kind of just stopped for a while and was like, no.
Yeah, but usually you don't actually brag about that, so it doesn't mean. Yeah.
And Bertone locks in the knee bar on the right.
Oh yeah, Bertone. I was on his Instagram for an hour yesterday at 11 because his Instagram is in English.
Okay.
Super interesting because it's super rare for the Japanese athletes. He looks actually amazing. I really want to meet him actually now.
Yeah, he's great. When you do, please ask him about the wrist tape, because he does it every comp, but I want to know why. I've
Maybe a weakness, slight weakness?
I don't know, it's been there for years, so if it's a slight weakness, it's...
I remember, dinosaur stories, but Sandrine Levey used to have tape like that, and she was saying it was to stop perspiration dripping down when it was really hot. I can't imagine this is the reason for him.
No, I mean, it might be. That's really interesting. Well, that's the nasty hold. He's kind of mono-ish. Brooke Raboutou, by the way, is just cruising on the left. She's got that high heel in, which is one of her trademarks.
Yeah, so I think this year she's gone through the roof with bouldering outdoors, with roots, obviously. It's not every day that you cut through the next level. Actually, never happens, to be honest. She's basically made us realize that the women are just half a grade behind the guys. To the point you can imagine competition, female can be as strong as men. And it doesn't happen in a lot of sports.
No, it doesn't. And it's what's so special about our sport, isn't it? And speed as well, closer and closer on that one.
Although sometimes I'd like to see Yanya in the men's circuit.
You're not the first to mention. Brooke crosses through, looking really good here as she unwinds. Got a little flick there, but she's okay. Saves it. Brings those feet up. Pink La Sportiva's matching the pink colds.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing your job for you, then.
Yeah. I was trying to call her actually yesterday, but without pestering her because I don't want to disturb her.
Well, Brooke is doing very well at the moment, and this is the sort of bouldery move. She's going feet first on it.
So flexible, but Brooke is very small, so she had to learn to be very flexible. If I remember well, when she was really small, she did gymnastics too, which helps.
Yeah, no, I think so. It's all good being flexible, but you need strength in flexible positions as well. And she has that. You can do the splits fine, but you still have to pull
the
power
way out. You need to be able to get out of it,
exactly. But can she get out of it?
I can't do the splits, so I don't really know how it feels.
Yeah, look, that's what I'm talking about. To drop that left foot with that. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily the easiest way to do that sequence, but she's made it work for herself. Bertone goes on the head walk.
He's still... he's getting a bit pumped. Let's see if he manages.
Small jibs to the feet, you've got to be precise. Just hits that.
Okay. Again, this is a speedless moment where you just want to look what they're doing because it's just enough.
We've got Luchka Rakovits on the line, I think. We're just waiting for her to be ready. After this, Bertone falls super high up, so we'll stick with Brooke here.
She's resting. A lot of girls fell on this movement. She's resting.
Yeah, she just saved that one.
No, she's resting that.
She's chilling. Pushes up. She's on the edge, but she's still fighting. Maybe more chill than I thought. Alright, well, she's approaching.
She's fighting, but she knows how to fight. So we might see her for quite a few more movements.
I'd agree with you. That's our top 8. So she's looking for a 33 plus. She's already up into the final, so she's in finals.
Yeah, this feet, she's very small. I'm not saying it's a size thing, but the setter said you had to really commit to the feet because there's no hold, it's just friction.
Yeah.
But she was a little bit high on the feet. No, I'm never going to give her a lesson.
No, exactly that. I think Brooke Raboutou knows. Well, down at the front we have Lučka Rakovic, who I think you can hear me. Lučka, can you hear me? Sorry, Lučka, I can't hear you. Just say that one more time. No, sorry, Lučka, we can't hear. Oh, I can't hear you anyway. Sorry, Lučka. All right, so we are with Brooke right now, who is smiling. We'll try to get Lučka back on.
She knows she's in final already. Wonder if she's going to go hibernate as well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Brooke with a huge smile on her face as she leaves. Walks past. She looks kind of surprised as she walks past our commentary box.
Yeah, I would love to be able to ask her a few questions.
Yeah, let's see if we can. Well, our crowd enjoying the sunshine here in Chamonix. And I have got... we're having a brief pause here because one of the quick draws on the men's route needs to be fixed. So that means that it's probably turned or twisted in the wrong direction.
But you can see it's just that it's stuck behind a volume.
Low down, or?
You can see it. It's not on the screen.
Oh, yes,
but
by the long one by the yellow holes. I see.
It's a small detail. Outdoor, it wouldn't be a problem, but you just want to be absolutely equal because if you didn't fix it, the climber would have to first touch the quick draw and then clip. So it's one extra movement, and that's not fair.
Yeah, there is the setter coming on. So they'll flick that around, and then we'll get underway. So we'll just stick with Chaehyun So here as she starts.
So, legend, extremely solid.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how well she does on that route. I'm not super worried, but you never really know.
Yeah, she's had good results so far. 6th was her first lead comp of the year, and of course she competes in the boulder as well. Last medal was back in Bali, where she was silver, but she won gold, of course, in Wujiang, where she shared that medal with Erin McNice.
Okay, so the quick draw is fixed. It was a 1 second job once he touched it, but it needed to be done.
Yeah, so the men's will continue in a couple of minutes then. Alright, so Chaehyun So.
It's tricky, you know, can you imagine for the climber who's just in isolation zone, suddenly you're about ready and you've got 30 seconds and people tell you, okay, 1 more minute. It's but we're talking about Sorato, so fine. Sorato's going to be fine.
We have a lady on the line who's just climbed this route. Lučka, how was your climb out there today?
Yeah, it was not the best. I felt kind of tired, I guess. But yeah, I'm still happy with my performance.
It was a great performance, and it is lovely to have you back on the circuit. Right now, if you look up behind you, Chaehyun So, where she's climbing, can you just tell us about this section here?
Actually, it was way easier than we thought. On the observation, we thought it will be a really powerful move to the one that she's holding with the left. But yeah, the chips on the pink pinches were very good, so it was not that hard.
Good to know, because it's so hard to tell from the ground, isn't it? And how bad this next section, this bouldery part, it looks quite physical for the athletes.
Yeah, it's pretty physical, with kind of weird feet, I guess. And the pink one is not as good as we thought. But yeah, it's bumpy, I guess, from the beginning, so it just adds up to the point.
Good to know. Thank you for your insights, and congratulations on your run. It is amazing having you back. We've missed you so much, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, Lučka.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's go back to the action here. Chaehyun So unwinding.
And Sorato had to wait a bit more because the second quick draw then was stuck on the volume.
I know.
But again, it's Sorato. So, he had to face back to the wall and look at the public.
Yep.
For a lot of athletes, that would be a little bit disturbing. But
yes, because he's not allowed to sort of have extra time to see the route, is he?
But then Sorato, despite being extremely young, he's the boss, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I would imagine it makes nothing to him.
Absolutely. Well, Sorato is underway, and then we stick with Chaehyun So. He's looking pretty relaxed after that bouldery crux sequence. She drops back down. And there is Sorato locking in. Oh, no hand rest. That's cool. It's kind of one of those positions you wouldn't want to do it because you're not going to be pumped to that point, but it's quite cool to know it's there.
See, Sorato doesn't climb much on the rock at all, and yet he found the no hand position straight away. So experience, most people say you have to climb on the rock to get experience, but you can also learn it otherwise. Yeah, to be honest, with Sorato, it looks like he was born with that experience. I don't know how you deal with being a competitor of Sorato.
I have no idea. He's an interesting beast. He does make mistakes though. He's not always perfect.
But how old is he? Is he even 18? No.
Let me just check because he was 19. Whether he still is, I'm going to look to see if he's had a birthday. Chaehyun is up towards the headwall, by the way. She's into her finals position here and climbing very well. She's going to be challenging Erin's high point. Yeah, he's 18. Sorato, 18 years old.
She needs to trust that foot, but there's no foot, it's just friction. And it's working.
She really, just a little bit more weight on that foot and it would have worked. But she should be in the finals without. Yeah, Sorato missed finals in Innsbruck, which was a surprise. He was in 9th, so just outside. So he's looking for a little bit of a comeback here. I love the fact that some athletes were surprised when they don't make finals. It's just like.
We would be very surprised because it never happens to him.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking good here. But of course, new holds for the athletes has proved an interesting little challenge for them.
So Sorato, I think he was born in finals. Not to finals.
Pretty much. I mean, he came on the scene at 16, so yeah.
I think when he arrived, the Japanese was already really strong, but then he was like, everybody else must have been like, oh no, how are we ever going to beat him now?
Well, here is Sorato.
So
top secret.
He's just won the overall.
Yep.
In bouldering.
Yep.
Pretty easily. He was about to pass the how many golds in a row.
Yep.
He just equaled it finally.
Yes, I think it was Killian's record, in fact, that one.
Oh,
if I remember rightly.
It's a very old record.
Yeah.
Sorry, Killian, you're not old.
Right, Sorato's looking pretty good here. We're going to see our first top. Comes up with the right hand. He's made the tricky move look simple.
Oh, come on, Sorato. Go. He looks a bit tired. Come on, let's... Oh!
Just below the top, but that should be enough, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, with just Toby to go.
But you see, he's human after all. He doesn't always... destroy everybody else.
Right, the highest placing Slovenian woman, Rosa Reka, is out, and Rosa had a brilliant finals in Innsbruck. And she's one of those who's up and coming here. Well, she's here. Forget the up and coming bit. She's up.
And we're going to see Toby very soon, the last male competitor.
Yep. And Toby had a big reaction yesterday. Chamonix is fairly British, I would say. And so there's quite a few Brits in the audience here.
Very British.
Well, yes.
You don't need to speak French in Chamonix, which is very... Actually, it doesn't exist anywhere in France apart from Chamonix.
Yeah, so the crowd here quite like Toby coming out. So expect a big reaction from him. I think he's like a sort of a temporary Frenchman in front of the Chamonix crowd in a way.
I don't think he speaks a word of French, but yeah.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I really like Toby, to be honest.
You like what, sorry?
I really like Toby as an athlete.
Yeah.
I don't know, to me he's a bit of a baby as well, but I really like what he had to go through and how he was really open on Instagram. If you didn't read that, it was super interesting how he was honest on having to cross, I'm going to call that the desert.
Yep.
And instead of, to be honest, I think I would have gone away and hide on a desert island. He just kept on not doing well in bouldering comps until he won.
Yeah, well, he went from 51st to 1st.
Which is, I don't even know if it's ever been done.
I don't know. I mean, where's our stat men? We've got two of them in the audience, actually. I'll have to ask. Well, Toby is trying to crack climb this one. And look at Rosa Reka as well. Just no drama so far as she comes up towards the first crux. Looking good at the moment. Toby gets in the knee.
So because you're British, is it your favorite? You're not allowed to have
So
a
I'm
favorite.
not allowed to have favourites.
But you can, I don't know, you're British too, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, I try not to have any favourites. But, you know, I think there are athletes who are impressive, and I think it's impossible not to be impressed by Toby. So, and, you know, and others as well. So Toby rotates through, left foot on the first of the crimp. And Rosa Recca now, let's see if she can deal with this physical section. Chalking up, resting well before she launches. It's so interesting, some athletes have really climbed themselves into awkward positions on that section.
And she's really comfortable. I don't know, maybe she's hesitating here, yeah. On whether she should send the feet first or maybe she's just resting.
Yeah, I think she might have just been resting because she sort of nailed that move straight away. Now gets in the high right heel. Lovely shot as we pan around here. Oh, she cuts loose and falls. Interesting. It was hard to tell because we're far back there exactly what happened, but she had a bit of a rest before, so
I think she just got surprised by something, but it happens. These routes are so difficult, it just takes half a second of imperfection.
Yeah.
There's no texture on this foothold, and Toby's got his heel. I'm like, oh no, I'm so afraid that... No, he doesn't sleep, obviously, because his body tension's perfect.
It's interesting he's found that, wasn't it?
Yeah. I remember Romain Desgranges saying slipping is never a lack of chance, it's always a mistake.
Romain, that's harsh.
But this is... No, he was applying that to himself.
Ah, okay, fine. Well, he's one of the best, so it's fair enough. I haven't seen Romain. I presume he's
here. He's coaching the French team, actually, and Romain won Chamonix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he progressed sort of seamlessly from athlete into coach, you know, and it was a nice...
Seamlessly is never true, but...
Well, okay, I don't know the in-depth of the French climbing politics, but...
No, I mean, it's not politics, but it's always hard to transfer from focusing on you to focusing on
That's true, yeah.
people.
You have to become like, you know, you have to get rid of self suddenly.
Exactly, but you have a lot of incredible athletes who can transfer into being coach, like Kilian, Katarina Sorwain, obviously, you know...
Josh Larson.
Yeah.
Oh, Toby falls. Now this is head in his hands. That came from nowhere for Toby. We'll have to see a replay of that one. Toby head in his hands. He knows it was a mistake, and we will not see Toby in finals tonight.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
It's just hard. It's heartbreaking, actually. You know that's sad, and you really don't want them to be sad, actually.
Laura Rogera underway here. Penultimate female athlete out on the stage. So interesting from Toby. I know our replay team are working on getting to find out exactly what happened there, but that was a...
I bet the crowd's going to be sad.
Yes, exactly. Right, this is our top 8, so we know now for the men who's got through. So Jonas Utelli just squeaking through over Do-Hyun Lee. And Colin Duffy makes it through. Big Japanese contingent. Alberto López leading the way with 39. Congratulations to him. Laura, though, still has work to do, of course. And we'll stick just with the women from now on. Yeah, we'll see a replay of Toby after Laura's run here.
So the men's finals, semi-finals went a little bit faster than the women's.
Yes, exactly. So some earlier falls.
Despite the men going generally a little bit higher, but just I guess they really couldn't stop.
All right, Laura now coming up onto the crimps. Nice flexibility from Laura. She cracks in that heel.
I mean, she's a really solid client, so you'd imagine she's going to be fine.
Yeah, I saw her. She was sitting in the park yesterday eating some dinner, and a member of the audience approached her really sort of apologetically to say, "Can I just say that you are incredible?" It was really, I think Laura was quite taken aback. It was quite a nice moment to see.
Do you think she was taken aback? It must happen to her all the time.
No, she was genuinely, like, I was watching her face. It was a real sort of surprise that she'd been... It was just a nice moment.
Cute because I mean, you see them, they're having to sign autographs all the time, actually. Yeah. They can't cross they can't cross the crowd without being stopped all the time.
Yeah, they've become huge celebrities. All right, so Laura rests on these crimps. She loves small, nasty holds, so she will be comfortable right now.
Laura is one of the rare com athletes who performs extremely well on the rock. I don't know how she finds time, but she just crushes. She has 9A for breakfast, basically.
Yeah, she does. I don't know how many she's climbed now. It's I think.
I don't think she knows.
No, it's a lot. Into these dishes, though.
It's gonna come a day when women can onside or flash 9A too. You know,
Yeah,
it's gonna
absolutely.
happen.
I think it's not far off women climbing 9C.
Oh yeah, no.
I think if comps stopped tomorrow and all these athletes went outside.
Yeah, but that's very true for the guys too. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think the whole standard would just go through the roof. But yes, you're right. Then we might see 10As. You are correct.
10As.
One day. Laura grimacing now as she works on these crimps. Accurate with the feet as well, hits the texture. Little adjustments in the high heel to make this move. She's done that differently, hasn't she?
Interesting.
Yeah. And look,
But that's a good idea. Now she can clip, and she's. I mean, it's going to be tricky to get out of that position.
Oh yes, that's the problem, isn't it? Because I think it made the move over the head wall easier, the clip easier, but then releasing
better releasing.
it.
Yeah. But she might be in final anyway, no?
It's going to be close. We'll see a leaderboard, I'm sure, in a sec. But we will also see that replay of Toby to find out what exactly happened to him, because we just saw the hands on that shot. Let's see Toby then. Let's find out what happened. So he's on that shallow dish. Made the clip. Watch the heels. I have a feeling the heel slipped. I'm watching those feet. Oh, wow.
I don't even know what happened.
He was very stretched out. So maybe it was just a body position that he didn't bring the feet high enough somehow.
I don't even know if it's the hand or the foot who slipped.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see a slip. It was just like he didn't quite get that left hand in. Let's watch again.
We won't see the left hand, so...
Oh, I mean, the left foot did come away from the toe hook.
Yeah, but is it because of the hand?
Yeah. Interesting.
He will know, but I can't imagine. He's going to be so gutted. I don't know if we'll manage to ask him.
No, I think I don't want to be that camera person who goes and asks Toby right now. Good luck. Right, Annie Sanders, our final athlete out here of the afternoon. Remember, we will be returning for the lead finals later on. And I've got Jennifer Buckley in the commentary box with me, who's one of our Slovenian younger, up-and-coming, amazing climbers, who I've persuaded to be in the commentary box, so I can't wait to have her. Annie Sanders, then, will have a lot of support throughout the world, and she is underway.
I'm just thinking, back in the time, you know, when the athletes didn't perform so well, you would have sometimes them throwing climbing shoes to the crowd or stuff.
Get yellow carded nowadays.
It doesn't happen anymore.
Things are stricter now. You can't get away with that behaviour.
Yeah, the sport has grown and people are polite.
Yes. We do see the occasional chalk bag throw. I can think of some athletes who've done that. Okay. But I think it's generally, as long as it's not in the direction of somebody, we sort of tend to
No, but it's just, I mean, at the same time, when you think of the amount of effort and work and dedication and how much they give up for that, I mean, it's fair to have an emotion.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And it doesn't I don't think it comes from a place of, like, you know, anger at someone. It's frustration at yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know.
But I mean, yeah, you need to discipline yourself and keep the frustration inside until nobody can see you, and then you can scream and have an anger pillow, you know, like
we really need to discuss therapy here. I mean, it sounds like there's some really unresolved issues going on from the comp days.
I didn't have an anger pillow. I'm calm, but I can. There's several ways to exterior anger, you know.
I want an anger pillow. I'm going to find
You've
a pillow
never
in my
had one
house.
when
No,
you were a kid.
I'm going to go get one though.
I mean, I didn't have one, but it's a new educational method.
I think it's just an adult way of dealing with my problems. Right, Annie Sanders about on the bottom third of this route now. She needs to get up to Laura's score of 34 plus. So Laura is in the finals, but only just.
Oh, yeah.
Could be a risky one for her.
So, 2 French in finals. I knew it. Sorry.
Yeah, this crowd is going to be enjoying tonight.
Actually, 2.5 because Brooke is half French. Okay.
Good point. Yep.
Even if I hated it in the Olympics, the crowd didn't really consider Brooke as French, and it really annoyed me because she is half French.
Yes, she loves hanging out in Paris. She was at a comp at Climb District I was at, and just like going for the French, and I hadn't heard her speak French before.
Oh, she's
really
fluent.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely fluent. So,
okay, enjoy it because she's the last competitor of this morning.
Yeah, we know she does occasionally struggle with time. She's one of those, but no one has a problem with that so far in terms of the route being too long for the time.
But then I guess, yeah, the qualification for final is going to be just above the leap.
Yep.
So I don't imagine she's going to struggle with time to qualify.
I think it should be fine. 3:22 on the clock. She crosses up and wraps that hand around, brings the right foot onto the jib now. Ooh, went for the clip and changed her mind. Goes with the left hand instead.
I mean, it doesn't look like a very good hold, to be honest. But nobody seemed to struggle on that hold. It's so steep and you need to be perfect in body tension. I've said this a million times, but when you're young, you have this body tension, and then you don't.
Well, Annie is young, so she definitely has the tension. Out she goes left. Just slow motion climbing. It's so precise.
Yeah,
really.
So she didn't rest on the holds.
Yeah, true. Oh, just about. She missed the jib, actually. Had to readjust onto it.
But then Brooke struggled a little bit on that movement too.
So frog squatting down low. Looking good at the moment is Annie here. So I wonder why she blew that hole. Obviously it's a cross.
I don't know what she was looking down.
Well, she's gone backwards. It's interesting that she sort of, I mean, the athletes blow the holes like that to get off excess chalk because it can make you slip. Right foot on no texture. Got to trust it, hold your breath, and then move away from it as quick as possible.
She's not crazy comfortable. Oh gosh, she clipped from here. Okay.
Wow, crosses through.
So, are we going to see her in finals? It's here, basically.
I think she should. She's looking pretty good. Unless we have a big slip moment here, this should be enough.
That's it. I think she's in final.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, she is through then. So that will push Laura out of the top 8.
Oh, yeah.
Fix the clip. She's got a minute to do this head wall if she wants to top the thing out.
Oh yeah, she's gonna. You're right, actually. She might get stopped.
Yeah.
Or just about.
Yeah. Now she looks down, realises yes, and you can see it in her body.
Because she doesn't know that she's already good for finals.
And she'll, we've seen a lot of draws recently in finals, so getting the #1 spot due to countback is really important.
Yeah, you worry about that when you're already such a strong athlete that what you're aiming for is a medal.
Yeah.
But she is doing that.
She's got time though, I think, 40 seconds, as long as she doesn't pause too long here.
Oh, she might show us the top, we'll see.
We'll see, gets the clip in, into the pinch. Right foot is on no texture though, left foot's in a crack now, that's the top. She needs to clip the quick draw, she's hit the sloper, 21 seconds, will be enough time. Annie Sanders, the only one to top the route, and that is impressive stuff. She was so in control throughout the whole of that run.
No, she's somebody to watch tonight, definitely.
There was never a moment that one looked in doubt. Maybe slight. I got nervous with the time, but she actually timed it pretty perfectly.
I think you were more nervous than her.
I can't watch Annie almost time out again. I can't deal with it. I've seen too much. Well, we will wait for confirmation of results, and do just as a reminder that the appeals can come through after we finish on air. So I haven't had anything come through. I haven't been notified of anything, but it might happen. But we'll let you know the top 8 as we see it, and the crowd is on their feet applauding. Great work, Manny. Well, we will wait. And Caroline, thank you so much for joining me in the commentary box. Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
No, I think I was scared for the first 5 minutes, and then basically when I don't know what you say, you know perfectly well what you say, so it's totally fine.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you, and as I said, like, you were my hero growing up into climbing, so thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks anybody for handling me.
Of course. Well, confirmation will come, I think. We're just waiting for the results. And here are the results. So we're looking for our top 8 here. Andy Sarnezis, Erin McNice of Chaehyun, and our top 3, Zelia Avezou down in 4th with 41 plus, followed by Camille Pougier, one of 2 French athletes into this finals. Brooke Raboutou is back in, and what a performance from her in 6th. Jalia in 7th, and Natsuki Tani 8th. Laura Rogger had just pushed outside. Just a plus there in it for her. Mekitaki, and then as we go down, Julia, brilliant comp from her, coming 13th in that semi-finals. That's impressive. Osh McKenzie, unfortunately, to have her out. Eloise Doumont down at the bottom won't be able to repeat that finals from Innsbruck. And great to see Anja as well in 23rd for the first time, Brazilian woman making it. Alberto Ginés López leads the way with a 39, almost topping over Serato Anraku and Chaehyun Omata and Colin Duffy and Philip Schenk on 37 plus. Luca Pottinger gets the 37, as does Jonas Utelli, and then finally Setona Yoshida with 36 plus pushes out Do-hyun Lee due to countback. Followed by Yannick Floe and Stefano Gasolfi, all in those 36s. A real crux there for the men's route. Jesse Grupper couldn't quite do it here today, but lovely to chat to him earlier on. Neither could Sam Avezou, and Toby Roberts, as we know, early slip from him, head in his hands. Right, we'll be back for the finals later on this evening. Thank you to all the athletes and everyone for putting this on. We will be back very soon. Good afternoon, everyone.